100-foot sheer cliff. I fully expected at least one of you to back out right then and there. Well, the week isn't over yet. The survival instructor and me would not be okay with you guys leaving this woods and not busting out a flame with that kit one more time. Oh. One more time.
Son of a... My arm hurts so bad.
Oh, this feels like deja vu.
This is the last time, guys. The last time you guys ever have to do a strap drill. All right, go twice as fast. Just keep on going with it. You got it. You got it. I'm going to dump it right into our core.
I think this is the part we were just so psyched on day one to get the ember. We just didn't watch what you were doing.
It's all about the little details.
There are quite a few things we did wrong or not as good as he did today.
I'll hold it. You just start blowing on it a little bit, buddy. A little bit harder. The more smoke you see, guys, the harder you can blow. And fire loves to climb. When you get a little bit of flame, just turn it over. You'll climb up through it.
Nice. We did have flame twice. We never turned it upside down, so it just went out. Lesson learned. All right, I'm done.
Dude, how great.
Stretch it out, man. That feels good.
It's amazing how much you take for granted having two arms.
There's one last thing to do this week, and that's for me to determine which of you have earned my survival knife. Only I'm not going to determine that. I'm going to let you guys determine that as a team.
I'm glad, I really feel good that, he's letting us make that decision. I would give the knife rig to Adam. He's battled through a lot this year, and he came out here and kicked ass out here with us, It impressed me, He's a lot older than us, He did a lot. He worked real hard this week out here. I'm tearing up. I'm emotional right now.
How about you, man?
Sorry, buddy.
I would actually give it to Jim just because he was a good sport about everything. I appreciated the morale boost, especially during the past couple of days when it was a little rough.
So, Jim?
Give me the knife, I'm going home.
I was going to say.
No.
If you say yourself, the knife is yours.
No, I'm not going to do that. So my choice is Adam. Being able to give this knife to Adam means more to me than to be able to take the knife all myself.
I appreciate that, guys. This is kind of like the friends and the people we work with are these kind of guys, like they took care of my family, my sister.
Did it together, guys.
Deserve it.
Your teammates have spoken, man. You did a fantastic job this week. Congratulations, buddy.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's sweet.
How awesome is that?
That's nice.
I'm happy that these two guys are my friends and these two guys are the people that I work with.
Let's saddle up and get the heck out of this gorge.
Yeah.
With
Sounds
two
good.
arms. This week, these three buddies and co-workers face my greatest challenge yet, one-arm survival in Kentucky's Red River Gorge wilderness. No matter what hurdles these guys face when they go back home, they'll remember that bonding experience for the rest of their lives.
This morning on a Monday Wake Up with Al, the search is on for two missing teens in Florida. Crews find their boat, but no sign of the teens. We're following this breaking story as it develops. Heavy storms in Florida making it hard for those search crews. Days and days of rain on tap. We'll look at when it clears up. Plus, your best defense against skin cancer. But could sunscreen be dangerous for the environment? The answer coming up right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Good morning to you on this Monday, July 27th. Welcome to Wake Up with Al. We are live in New York. The big story this morning, the storms all over Florida, and that's where we start off our top three for the day. And it is going to stay stormy into Florida. Again, we had this stationary front, and there it is for you through the day today, lightning and rain. Now, we do need the rain into southeastern Florida, though the heaviest rain will be located on the west coast. How about as we talk about severe weather, where will that be located? Listen, the severe weather is not going to be that bad here through the northern plains, the Dakotas, down into Nebraska. Yes, we could see a few storms, but the Torcons are on the low end of the scale. We're talking 2s and 3s. And how about the heat? Mother Nature is cranking it. I mean, like, it's going to take two hands to turn up the thermostat. That's how hot it's going to be in the Northeast. We're going to go from the mid-80s into the mid-90s. So here's a look today, Wednesday, 81 degrees. we will see 95 degrees as we head into our Wednesday. So today, the lower 80s by the mid-90s into midweek, and that's going to stick around. We'll have more on that in just a minute, but first, let's get to the Florida storms this weekend. More than 321 homes were reportedly evacuated due to river flooding near Tampa. This is along the Anacloth River at Elfers. A shelter has been opened for displaced residents. Swiftwater rescues were conducted by Pasco County Fire Rescue yesterday afternoon. No injuries or fatalities were reported. So let's have a look at Fort Myers. Talk about a stormy day. 2.26 inches of rain on Sunday broke the old record that was set back in 1903. Think about 1903. We're in 2015. What it was like to live in 1903. Does anyone else's mind ever go there? It's just, right? Like, it's just a cool thing to think about. And think about what they were doing in Florida in 1903. I mean, there was like nothing there, essentially. It was very quiet, and they would get hurricanes. They didn't even know about it. I mean, just wild stuff. So right now, it's pretty quiet. We do have a few showers around Tampa, also the Fort Myers area, but overall, it's quiet, relatively speaking, over Florida. Is it going to stay that way? No. Listen, it's hot. It's summertime. We've got the humidity. This is nothing out of the ordinary for us here into Florida. That front is stalled out right over the state. It has been, and we've been talking a lot about, will something develop tropically or won't it? There's just not enough spin in the atmosphere. You really need that spin going on, like taking a top and, you know, actually spinning it. If it's just sitting there and you blow it, like, it's not going to spin. You got to actually pick it up and spin it. So the atmosphere needs to actually do that, and it's not doing that right now. So as we head through the day today, you can see there is a little bit of spin in the atmosphere. There's like this broad circulation, this broad area of low pressure, but it's not concentrated enough in order to cause the storms. But we will see, or I should say the tropical storm, but we will see the storms today. And of course, it can also kick up those rough waters as well. My mind has constantly been on those two boys that are missing off the coast of Florida and what they have to be dealing with right now. So showers here throughout the state all the way through our Wednesday forecast. Now, as we have a closer look at what's happening on the west side of Florida, we do have flood watches. The only good news about Florida and flooding is we have sandy soil, so the water is going to drain out really quickly. Places like Fort Myers, you're going to continue to see that rain. Again, pretty typical Florida day, a little rainier than average. Okay, let's talk severe weather and have a look at where we are going to see those showers and storms, and that's throughout the northern tier of the United States. Why? There's moisture surging northbound, and remember, moist air is more buoyant than dry air, so we have the moisture, we have the lift. Do we have the oomph in the atmosphere? We have a tiny bit of oomph, and there it is. Now, when you see a front occluding out like this, that means it's old. It's like in a geriatric stage of life, okay? It's starting to die out. So, you know, when we're getting older, we don't usually have enough like big in our, we're just kind of a little bit slower. So that's essentially what's happening with the weather. Just a little bit on the more low-key side here. So we will see storms tonight. They are going to be pressing eastbound into Minnesota. And this little system is just going to continue to progress east, so it looks like it'll get into Wisconsin as we head into the day tomorrow. And then as we look at our Torcon, again, on the low end of the scale, there's still a chance of seeing a tornado in a 50-mile radius of western North Dakota, a 30% chance. And our storm track tomorrow shows everything through Des Moines, Madison, KC, Minneapolis, spotty hail mainly, nothing too severe here for our storms. And a closer look at Bismarck. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s into the afternoon hours. Well, yesterday, storms hit upstate New York. They brought torrential rain and even some hail to the Northeast this weekend. This video shared with us on our Facebook page from Parksville, New York. We saw 1-inch hail and reports as much as 2.5 inches of rain yesterday. And we are not finished yet. Some more showers right now moving through Jersey all the way down through the Delmarva. Heavier rain indicated where you see the red on the radar. Lighter rain where you see the green and then the lighter green. A lot of that isn't even touching the ground. As we take a closer look at our flash flood warning where we have this green outlined area, Carbon and also Monroe counties until 5:30. So watch for flooding. It's either imminent or it's occurring. We have seen 6-hour rainfall accumulations up to 4 inches in Allentown. That's a significant amount to get in just 6 hours. So you're going to get, half a month to a month's worth of rainfall out of some of these. And hour by hour, you can see the showers are gliding on through, so they will be clearing the coast. But unfortunately, this is going to make way for all of that heat. Well, the search continues for 2 Florida teens missing since Friday after setting sail on a fishing trip in the midst of a storm. Their boat found capsized. We will have the latest, including their worried parents' plea for help to search for their sons. That's after your local on the 8s and a live look at Miami, Florida this morning, 77 degrees.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit Angie'sList.com today.
Let's go from clutter to clean. Stop boxing ourselves in. Let's get organized and build a better bathroom. That's it. Let's give it some style with a little polish. Let's put everything where it belongs and put the room back in bathroom. Let's do this. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Bridgestone's revolutionary drive car tires are engineered to take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles on a flat.
I feel unstoppable, like a superhero.
With a sidekick.
Yeah, you're my sidekick, right, bud?
No.
Okay.
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
After 50 years of designing cars for crash survival, Subaru has developed our most revolutionary feature yet. A car that can see trouble and stop itself to avoid it. When the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety tested front crash prevention, nobody beat Subaru models with eyesight. Not Honda, not Ford, or any other brand. Subaru Eyesight, an extra set of eyes every time you drive.
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24-Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Another sunny day, I met you up in the garden. I took a photograph of you and the herbage is golden.
Such a shame it's labeled a getaway. Life should always feel like this. Hampton, we go together. Always get the lowest price, only when you book direct at Hampton.com.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 50%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 94. Chance of rain, 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
School year, 95% of students will go online to do their homework. Can your internet keep up? Only Xfinity from Comcast delivers the fastest, most reliable in-home Wi-Fi, so everyone can work online at the same time. Get your geek on.
Here we go. Good morning, Dallas. 10 minutes past the hour. Congratulations. Way to go, Dallas.
Welcome to the stage, Dallas.
All right.
Finally.
Almost 30 days late. You finally hit the 100-degree mark.
Better late than never.
Yesterday's high, 100 on the nosy.
Listen, if you're going to hit it,
do it right.
That's right.
That's right. And guess what? Practice makes perfect because you're going to stay in the triple digits today, right through the rest of the week. Look at these heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. My gosh, and it's going to be dangerously hot for a lot of folks. You look at these highs today. The feels-like temperatures, 106 in Dallas, 103 in San Antonio, 100 in New Orleans.
Yeah, a lot of people will try to escape the city, go down to the coast to try to get a little bit of that sea breeze, because that stagnant hot air is just, I mean, it's like you go and sit in a sauna if you've never felt heat like this. That's what it's like on a daily.
Exactly. And then look at right through Thursday, over 100 degrees. Well, this is the latest from Central Florida, where rescuers have been searching the ocean since Friday after 2 teen boys on a small fishing boat disappeared.
Their worried parents are now pleading for help. NBC's Getty Schwartz has the story.
Somber news off the Florida coast. After 2 days of searching, a 19-foot fishing boat found capsized near Cape Canaveral, but the search continues for 14-year-olds Austin Stefanos and Perry Cohen.
Our focus right now is finding those boys, and we've got an awful lot of resources out here. We're going to continue to saturate the area and hit this really hard.
The boys were last seen on Friday in Jupiter, Florida, filling up with $110 worth of gas. The families described the boys as strong fishermen who regularly went out on the water together.
They've been through rough water, they've been through thin water, it doesn't matter.
Their neighbor, football legend Joe Namath, was there also offering his support. He and the family offering a $100,000 award for the boys' safe return.
They're so fine, these 2 young fellas. We just keep on praying, man.
Austin's family says the boys were not allowed to leave the Jupiter Inlet, so that's where the search started. They expanded the search area 30 nautical miles out to sea and found the boat near the Ponce de Leon Inlet, over 130 nautical miles north. The community is still praying that they might be found safe and brought back home. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News.
All right, Gotti, thank you so much. Well, let's look at the radar recap starting Friday afternoon from Jupiter, Florida, up to Fort Pierce. And you can see some pretty heavy thunderstorms came across. They had marine warnings out there. Supposedly the boat had a marine warning radio with it. But if the radio's not on, it doesn't sound an alarm or anything like that. So they'd have no idea. You look at those ocean currents going up to the north, right along the coast. So we'll continue to track this story. But we have our thoughts and prayers out for everybody involved.
You know, we had family friends who this happened to when I was a kid, actually, and I believe there was 3 of them. Yeah, there was 3 of them that they ended up rescuing, and it was like finding a needle in a haystack for days. Everyone was on pins and needles. The way they found them, he took a credit card and, you know, flashed it towards the Coast Guard, and that's the only way that they were able to find them. So I'm just hoping these kids have, you know, something on them that they can maybe use as a reflector to shine and catch the eye of the Coast Guard. Okay. Tough story. Let's now go to your 7-day forecast here and show you what we'll be looking like over the next several days. In Florida, we stay on the stormy side. That's good news if you ask me, on one hand, because that way these kids could get fresh water if they are out there floating, because otherwise they have all that salt water and they do need some fresh water to survive. And so we do need some storms that could be coming down on them that they could drink that fresh water. Otherwise, the story will be the heat in the Northeast that's coming on in New York. 95 degrees for you. Boston, you get into the 90s on Thursday, so it is an extended period of the heat that we will be dealing with, and it's going to be just as hot down in Atlanta as it will be into the Northeast. At least into the Midwest, we stay pretty mild. We don't get into the 90s, but the upper 80s, still plenty warm for us, wouldn't you say? Into next weekend, we stay on the warm side. Even Billings gets in on the action. Denver, so it's going to be warm pretty much across the board, Al. It is summer after all, though. We're really into the thick of it now.
And speaking of summer, some thunderstorms blow up, and man, people went nuts. The internet blew up. Next video had all our meteorologists in all over the weekend. One lone cloud hanging over Atlanta lit up the night sky.
You took an awesome picture of this thing.
I'm telling you, it was amazing. You can see lightning within the cloud, flash after flash. Social media like it, lighting up. A lot of folks asking why they didn't get rain in Atlanta. The answer, a cloud was actually 35 miles from the city. I was flying into Atlanta Friday night, trying to get in for Deb's family reunion down in Perry, Georgia, and the turbulence was pretty impressive.
I can imagine that. Well, storms hovering over Florida are catching the eye of the National Hurricane Center. Look at what's swirling in the atmosphere and whether it could develop into our next name system.
Plus, look at how products used to protect you from the sun could actually be hurting the environment. Details coming up after your local on the 8s.
There are no medals won for earning a living. It's just what you do for family. But it's hard to build a future if you can't see past today. That's why Walmart is investing in the most important part of our company, our people. Because a raise in pay raises us all.
early. Go roam. Sleep in, sleep out. Stargaze. Dream big. Wander more. Care less. Beat sunrise. Chase sunset. Do it all on us. Get your first month's payment plus 5 years wear and tear coverage. Make the most of summer with Volvo.
Fact. Advil is not only strong, it's gentle on your body too. No wonder doctors and patients have trusted Advil for their tough pains for over 30 years. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Make sure everything's finished.
Yes to Wreck-It Ball. No to high fructose corn syrup. We're always pushing Capri Sun to be better, so let him push play.
Want a weight loss product you can rely on? Join the millions of Americans who over the past 20 years have chosen Hydroxycut, making it America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand today.
I'm Danielle from San Francisco, and I lost 31 pounds. New Hydroxycut really works.
Lose weight your way with effective and convenient mix and match formulas, including Hydroxycut Max for women.
I'm Brittany from LA, and I lost 30 pounds. New Hydroxycut really works.
And then it hit. And we took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, sailing from the Port of Palm Beach, has exciting cruise rates for Florida residents and visitors on multiple cruise dates with prices of just $149 for all interior cabins and just $169 for all ocean view cabins. You'll sail on Florida's newest, most flexible, and best Bahamas cruise. Your 2-night cruise will include delicious dining, some of the best live shows at sea, lots of fun, lots of pampering, and an exciting day in the Bahamas. If you're looking for a longer vacation, add 2 or 4 nights at the all-inclusive, beautiful Grand Lucayan Resort to your cruise. Enjoy spectacular white sand beaches, family fun, fine dining, golf, and so much more. Call 800-814-7100 to book your Bahamas Paradise Cruise from just $149 and let the summer vacation fun begin. That's 800-814-7100. 800-814-7100.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 50%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon, high 94. Chance of rain, 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 20 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. And you look at these waves from Amelia Island in the far northwest corner of Florida.
Storms off the coast turning up the Atlantic. It's safe to say you're dealing with some strong rip currents at the beach.
Now look at that shelf there, the erosion, the beach erosion
really cut
right
away
there.
at this.
If you're not paying attention and you're walking along the beach, that can
really hurt you. Twisted ankle or so.
Oh, man.
Well, it's time now for your tropical update on this date. In 1943, on a whim of flying a single-engine AT-6, Lieutenant Ralph O'Hare and Colonel Duckworth were the first to fly into a hurricane and started those regular Air Force flights.
Well, we've got hurricane specialist Michael Lowry standing by. And Michael, we're still talking about this tropical possibility, but the reality is you don't even need this thing because we are going to be getting tropical storm-like amounts of moisture in Florida over the next several days. And already have.
We have, Al, and that's really at the end of the day what this is.
It's a front. It's a frontal boundary, and it's bringing some tropical moisture up to Florida, but not an organized tropical system. Take a look at the radar right now, and you can see a sort of a twist to the storm clouds on the west side of Tampa into Fort Myers. They got some pretty heavy rainfall during the weekend, over up to a foot in some places. On the west coast, though, where they really don't need it. Let's talk about what's happening right now in terms of the tropical potential of this. It's a stalled frontal boundary, and Stephanie this morning was talking about you need the spin to the atmosphere. We do have the spin there. There's a broad area of low pressure right on this side of the front, on the western side of the front. But what we don't have are the clustering of storms. You need the low pressure, you need the clustering of storms, and then you need that low pressure to really separate itself from the front. And I really don't see that happening with this. The upper level winds are just pretty unfavorable. We see very strong winds coming from the northeast, and that's shearing apart the clouds, so it's not allowing the storm clouds to cluster together. Not expecting any tropical development here, but what we will see is additional rainfall, 3 to 5 inches, really right along the coast here. I think the bulk of the rain has already passed. Where we don't have the rainfall, though, is down here in South Florida, or Southeast Florida, where they've been in an extreme drought. We could really use the rainfall down here, but we're just not going to get it. A relaxing of the trade winds, though, so we may get some of those sea breeze type storms set up along the coast this week. So that's good news for them. Elsewhere in the tropics, we have Invest 90E. I want to talk about this for a second. We're going to talk about it more coming up at the full tropical update at 50 past. A good chance of development with this one, 70% chance, and Hawaii later this weekend into next week. Models are showing this getting kind of close to them. So stay tuned. We'll talk a little bit about more on this coming up later in the show. Steph, back to you.
All right, Larry, thank you for the lesson on that. All right, it's time now to say good morning to our friends in Seattle, or good night is really probably better. Probably more of you going to bed than waking up. It's going to be a hot one. Temperatures hovering around 5 degrees above average. And here's a little fun fact for you. Did you know that Seattleites buy more sunglasses per capita than any other city in the country? Very surprised by this. I don't know where that fact came from. Be nice to credit where that fact came from, because that is extremely surprising to me. Like, I almost don't believe that one, I got to tell you. Because being like Florida and Southern California, a lot more sun. Anyhow, here's a look at our jet stream. We will see that dip here throughout the northwest, but that moves east and we get a ridge. Now, when you have a ridge, that means the warm air can go as far north as the jet stream goes. So we are going to be feeling that heat here, 10 to 20 degrees above average through the west coast, all the way into Northern California, even into Central California. So 6 degrees, 10 degrees above average from Seattle down in towards Northern California. Then it gets even hotter on Wednesday. We're not going to see that records per se, but it's going to get close. Yeah, it could get close in some locations. Here's a look at our record highs, more like Redding. You have to go Eugene, Medford, and towards Yakima.
I like that. Top 5 cities to me. Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Well, the battle for California continues. Firefighters taking on one wildfire after another.
Now 4 firefighters have been hurt fighting a fire in Nevada County. The latest on their condition, and the fire threatening 2,000 homes.
Before Mars, before the moon, we did the impossible again and again. Live the future of space travel at Exploration Space, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
I thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Where's the salesperson?
At the dealership.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it. You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Okay, well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take it test shopping.
Introducing the Buick 24 Hours of Happiness Test Drive. It's on your terms and a better way to take a test drive.
When I lay in my Tempur-Pedic contour and I slowly feel it start to kind of wrap itself around me, my mind just kind of goes blank. And the next thing I know, it's morning.
With TemperFlex, you've got the spring and bounce of a traditional mattress. Then it also adjusts my body.
My cloud feels so comfortable. It feels like somebody's hugging you. How can a bed do that?
This is the best investment of your life, because this is where dreams are made.
There's a Tempur-Pedic for everyone. Find the feel that's right for you.
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
After we're all inside for a while, it gets pretty stuffy.
When Dad opens up the window, it's the first thing he does.
The Tobin stance.
But when we open up the windows, you can see the dust floating around.
There's dog here.
Pollen.
More work.
Wow.
What's this? Swiffer Sweeper.
Swiffer Dusters. Removes up to 70% of dust and allergens. Stays on there like glue.
Can't do that with the other broom. Wow, I love it.
The Tobin stance.
That is totally what it is.
Okay, what is this?
It's chewy.
Really icy.
Whoa, that's intense. It just hits you.
It's gum.
No, it's totally a mint. It's disappearing as I'm chewing it. Where did it go? It's not a gum, not a mint. It's a totally new cool. New Icebreakers Cool Blasts.
Flour-pressed soap, homemade hot sauce, artisanal pickles, whatever those are. Well, we're glad handcrafted is finally cool. Because at Firestone Complete Auto Care, we've been handcrafting since 1926. Robots might build cars, but it takes human hands to keep them running right. And that's a guarantee, backed by our fixed right promise. Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Before ISS, before Hubble, we built the most extraordinary machine. Stand nose to nose with Space Shuttle Atlantis, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 50%. Tuesday, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 94. Chance of rain, 80%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
Let's talk about that.
Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Good morning, everybody. 29 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al for a Monday, July 27, 2015.
Well, this morning we're keeping a close eye on Florida with the 2 missing teens, plus a round of storms as well. We want to get right to your top 3 weather stories.
All right, let's get it started. Everything you need as you start your work week. Those Florida storms, they are not going anywhere. So if this is the week you chose to spend your vacation in Florida, sorry about that. From Tallahassee, Tampa, Fort Myers, Miami, we're talking tropical storm type precipitation amounts. Plus, we've got an early week severe threat in the northern plains. We're going to be watching these storms firing up from Fargo, Bismarck, Rapid City, Sioux Falls. This goes into the overnight, so folks have to be weather aware as they go to bed. And the northeast heat coming on in. Okay, so here's what we've got today versus Wednesday. 88 in Buffalo, 81 New York City, 87 in D.C., 81 Boston. Let's look at Wednesday. Boom! You're 90 in Buffalo, 89 in Boston, 95 in New York, and in Washington, D.C. And the heat indexes are going to be probably above 100. And this is going to go on for a few days.
Yes, it's going to last. Now, all that's coming from the south. That's where we want to start you off this morning. Parts of Florida are still underwater after a washout this weekend. Tampa, one of the hardest hit areas, still flooded after the rain stopped. They had nearly 9 inches of rain over the weekend. Most of it fell on Saturday. Wah, wah. Almost 7 inches. It all came down on the already soaked ground. Parts of Tampa have gotten more than a foot of rain. 15.6 inches in the month of July. Crazy. In Tampa. Woo. The only good thing is you get sandy soil.
So it drains.
So it's going to drain. So that's
would have been better if it had fallen around the Miami area.
Right. It's too bad that, you know, we can't say beam me up, Scotty, and just pick it up and stick it over Miami. So let's have a look at the past 3 days. Holiday, Florida, 11.55 inches. This is near the Clearwater area, and you can see heavy rainfall all the way through Fort Myers and down into TPA. For all of my flyers, you speak in airport codes, you know, DFW, FLL, MSY. So it's funny when you know someone that travels a lot and they say city names and you're like, what'd you just say? But people that travel, you guys, you know what I'm talking about here. All right, so let's take it down here into Florida and show you that spin in the atmosphere that Michael was talking about. And again, we aren't going to see this develop tropically, even though it seems like a lot of people at the Weather Channel are wish casting, as I like to say. They just won't stop saying, maybe.
Let it go.
Let it go.
Be Elsa. Let it go.
Be Elsa and let it go. So here's our stationary front, the lift, the spin. We do have the rain. And again, this is going to happen through the day today. Because this thing is not moving, hence being stationary, we are going to see more showers sticking around, especially into central Florida.
This is the same front we were talking about last week, wasn't it?
Remember that thing? It kind of like slowly dropped down through the southeast, and it's just been chilling out here. You know, Florida, we're laid back in Florida, Roker.
Yeah.
Flip-flops, tank
Jimmy
tops,
Buffett.
bathing suits. That's right. Margaritas. And apparently that this stationary front wants to get in on that action as well. So the heaviest rain, unfortunately, though, Al, on the West Coast.
All right, well, let's go live to Minneapolis, starting out the day with clear skies, warming up to the mid-80s tonight, though, and tomorrow morning we could be looking at some severe thunderstorms, so let's check it out for you, show what we've got going on. Okay, so we look at Florida? We're going to Minneapolis. Is this supposed to be up?
As a case of the Mondays, I think.
I'm a little confused. Well, as you can see, look at those deficits. Let's see what's next.
See what we get here.
Let's find out.
Hey!
More Florida.
Still in Florida.
All right. So we'll take a look more at some more Florida. Look at that. This is through Wednesday. 3 to 5 inches of rain between Tampa and Fort Myers. An inch of rain in Miami, where they could really use that 3 to 5 inches. Flood watches from Spring Hill, Petersburg, Tampa, and
we'll give you that severe weather update in just a minute. Why don't you come over here? We'll do the weather headlines, and we'll get back to the graphics.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. All right, so, you know, we've been talking about these wildfires, and it just seems to be getting worse. Crews battling a wildfire in Northern California, overrun by flames. 4 firefighters injured, 3 taken to the hospital. Their fire engine also burned.
Now, they are trying to control a fire in Nevada County. It's burned 1,500 acres and threatens 2,000 homes. Firefighters say these are tough conditions they train for.
On a fire, it's a dangerous job. We have accidents, we have burns, we have fatalities. We train for that to prevent those from occurring. But in a fast-moving fire like this, obviously, things do happen.
Yeah, well, evacuations have been ordered for several towns. No word yet on the condition of those injured firefighters.
Drones are now joining the fight to save lives. Texas A&M offering a seminar for first responders, teaching them how to use airborne cameras for search and rescue efforts.
What a great idea. They're trying to come up with better ways to respond to floods like the ones that hit Texas in May that killed more than 24 people statewide.
And it's a light show as a thunderstorm moves into Pittstown, Pennsylvania, about 20 minutes south of Scranton.
Oh, this kind of looks like what we saw over Atlanta
yeah.
on Friday. You can see the cloud-to-cloud lightning, regular cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, 3 inches of rain coming down on the area from all these storms.
All right, speaking of rain, we've got that right now moving throughout Jersey and also here into the mid-Atlantic down towards the Delmarva. These are going to clear the coast, and it's going to get drier, but it's going to get a whole lot hotter here into the northeast. So here's our little system that's coming on through hour by hour, the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Yeah, it does look like definitely by lunchtime these storms will certainly be out. For the morning drive, though, the early morning drive, that some of you could see some storms. And then with that afternoon heating, you're going to get those spotty ones. It's not going to be as widespread here. So here's a look at what we're going to deal with into New York City. We will see showers and thunderstorms. Maybe you're going to see the Statue of Liberty. She has the 7 spikes on her, what do you call her, tiara? Crown. That's what it is. Tiara, crown. It's for the 7 continents and the 7 oceans. That's what it represents, for like unity for everyone type of a thing.
All right, very nice. All right, here's a great come to your TV moment, and we ain't lying. Milwaukee dealing with a big animal problem. Lion on the loose. City's been on high alert after this cell phone video surfaced last week. Milwaukee police armed with rifles, joined by wildlife officers with tranquilizer guns, investigating new sightings this weekend. And witnesses now saying the lion may not be alone.
First it was one, and then a baby came out. You know, then it just looked for a little bit. I was real scared as ever.
Survival of the fittest. We Now, residents are being warned to keep their pets indoors, and you might want to stay indoors, too. Someone was so worried they accidentally shot a dog in the paw, mistaking it for a lion?
What?
Huh.
That's a big dog. Police say they last spotted the big cat early Sunday morning. Hey, do you know what's in your food?
Yeah, I do.
Well, new bill backed by the food industry would prevent states from requiring special labeling for GMOs. We'll have the details.
A new test with pluggable Febreze. We rented this resort, hid smelly objects all over each villa, and plugged in Febreze. Then real people were asked to stay for a long weekend. Would they smell anything?
The room itself was like,
Feels like someone has pumped fresh oxygen into the room.
On the last day, we revealed everything.
We were sitting right on it.
Febreze is stunningly effective.
Continuously eliminate odors for up to 45 days. Break out the Febreze you plug in and breathe happy.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Before I had the shooting, burning pins and needles of diabetic nerve pain, these feet served my country, carried the weight of a family, and walked a daughter down the aisle. But I couldn't bear my diabetic nerve pain any longer, so I talked to my doctor. And he prescribed Lyrica.
Nerve damage from diabetes causes diabetic nerve pain. Lyrica is FDA approved to treat this pain. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions or suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worsening depression, or unusual changes in mood or behavior, or swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects are dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, and swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who have had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
Now I have less diabetic nerve pain, and my biggest reason to walk calls me Grandpa.
Ask your doctor about Lyrica.
Just in case you were wondering what Cheerios are made of, whole grain oats. When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
Let's go from clutter to clean. Stop boxing ourselves in. Let's get organized and build a better bathroom. Let's do this. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
They lived.
They lived. They lived.
We lived, thanks to our Subaru. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Forty minutes past the hour. Let's look live in Washington, D.C. Nation's capital sizzling today. Highs around 90 into the 90s. Thunderstorms and showers today, but they these storms will not cool things down.
No, it's only going to get hotter up in her. So here we go. High pressure is going to build in. This is what's happening tomorrow. We are going to see some legit summertime heat. Why? Because we're on the west side of this high pressure.
But the good news is there's plenty of humidity with it, too.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
you know. Bringing extra gifts here. So our heat indices are going to be in the mid-90s tomorrow in D.C.
But then as we get on into Wednesday, look at that. Even hotter feeling. We're going to get up to 97 in New York, feeling like 98 in D.C. As you look at Washington, those highs just creep up. By Thursday, we're looking at a high of 96. Well, splashing around in lakes and oceans is a great way to spend the summer, but the sunscreen that actually protects our skin could be harmful to marine life. I never even thought of that.
It's harmful to marine life. Think about what it's doing to you. One company is hoping to change that. Take a look. While diving in a coral reef, something bothered Autumn Blum as divers got back on the boat.
And I'm watching all of these divers showering, rinsing off. I'm watching the suds just right overboard. The chemist in me knew what the ingredients were in these products, and it was a little bit troubling.
She set out to make a line of natural body products good for the body and the environment. Her first natural shampoo trial killed every fish in the tank.
I cried. It was awful.
As an Eckerd College alum, she partnered with them for research that was more targeted than standard tests. As with many new concepts, there were no guidelines.
We came up and said, well, what if you were someone with long hair and you used a lot of shampoo and the fish decided to jump into your tub with you? I mean, that would be like the maximum concentration.
The researchers looked at how the swimming and eating behavior of the fish changed, not if they just lived or died.
But you can notice from the competitor sunscreen that the fish really aren't moving very rapidly, whereas over here, normally they've got that sort of darting behavior.
An ingredient in most sunscreens has been proven to bleach coral reefs.
4,000 to 6,000 metric tons of sunscreen is ending up in our coral reefs.
These researchers took coral testing beyond adult corals by looking at how products affect coral in the larval form. Blum incorporated all these findings for products she believes are safe from stream to sea. Well, just released line of stream to sea products include sunscreen for $17 and body lotion and shampoo for $13. Coming up at 6:40, we're going to talk to Dr. Doris Day, who will help us choose the right sunscreen. I'm a complete freak about all this stuff. I'm telling you, like, we all, oh, it's just safe. People just tell us that. You better really...
What happened? You were a complete freak.
Well, that's true. I'm a complete freak regardless of my eating habits and my holistic nature. But here's a look what's happening today. You are going to definitely need to put on the clothing. You just wear long sleeve clothes. That's a solution to not wearing sunscreen or getting the healthy sunscreen so you're not putting chemicals on you. 90s in New York for tomorrow, and we're going to stay hot. So essentially, we're in the middle of summer and it's feeling like it, but I don't want anyone in the Northeast complaining, especially after the winter we went through. All I'm going to do is just remind you of that winter, and hopefully you'll be like, oh, yes, okay, I'm not going to complain. I know I'm sweaty, but I'm not going to complain. So as we head into our Wednesday forecast, everyone's going to get into the action towards the end of the week. Look at Billings at 93. Dallas, you get into 100, and then you don't want to leave. You get comfortable there, and we do the same into the Northeast. We see the 90s for the extended period. It's going to be the same temperature essentially in New York, Atlanta, as it will be in Miami. Into our Saturday and Sunday. Just again, scattered showers across the board here with temperatures still staying on the warm side all the way through the second half of the weekend. Hot out for all those farmers that are out there in the fields.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in your farmers forecast today, a win for those who don't want special labels on their foods. The U.S. House passed a bill to stop labels from being applied to foods made with genetically engineered crops. Supporters say those type of crops are proven safe. Labeling would just lead to more expensive prices. I don't understand the logic of that.
No.
That doesn't make any sense.
That's like, how could we not put ingredients on our food?
Yeah,
this is insane.
I mean, opponents of the bill said everyone has a right to know how their food is made. That just makes no sense whatsoever.
And I just want everyone to know, the FDA does not test GMOs. They leave it up to the companies who make these GMOs, and they're the ones who say they're safe. So just keep that in mind.
That's all. That makes sense to me. Coming up on Wake Up with Al, grab your fishing poles, head out into the front yard. Why, these fishermen didn't have to go too far for the catch of the day.
That's coming up after your local on the 8s. 1, 2, 3, get it! Oh, not yet. Not quite yet. Oh.
Farmers Forecast, powered by Ram Trucks. Guts, Glory, Ram.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion?
Ram ProMaster van. And introducing the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
There are no medals won for earning a living. It's just what you do for family. But it's hard to build a future if you can't see past today. That's why Walmart is investing in the most important part of our company, our people. Because a raise in pay raises us all.
I want my foyer to smell more like a foyer.
I want his bedroom to smell like he's away at boarding school.
Surround yourself with up to 6 hours of luxurious, long-lasting scents. Introducing new Unstoppables Air Refresher.
Press the trauma unit 5. What do we got?
BP 64 over 40.
2 units above nose. Multiple foreign objects in the body.
Scissors.
If you're the guy from the operation game, you get operated on. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television.
Everybody talks, everybody talks. It started with the whisper.
People just can't stop talking about Ford. And now during the Ford Summer Sales Event, get the best deals of the summer on Fusion with EcoBoost.
The Fusion is amazing.
Ford is the brand more people buy and buy again. So don't miss the Ford Summer Sales Event. Now get a 2016 Ford Fusion for $189 a month for 36 months with only $26.39 due at signing for current competitive lessees. Only at your South Florida Ford stores.
Homeowner Protection Services can help save your home. We specialize in foreclosure assistance, and that's all we do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Homeowner Protection Services now. Homeowner Protection Services has a network of attorneys, and our agents are available to speak to you now. New laws are in effect that may save your home. So call Homeowner Protection Services now.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 50 minutes past the hour. Okay, so there's been a lot of rain in Florida. One bonus, you don't have to go out fishing. The fish come to you.
Yes, a man in Fort Myers spent a good time trying to wrangle a flopper in his front yard.
Lee County's gotten 6 to 8 inches of rain from the tropical moisture that's been just pouring down over Florida. Creeks and streams overflowing into neighborhoods. I don't think this guy ever caught. Oh, that's a nice view.
Oh, he was there. Well, I mean, if you're focused on that, did he not catch the fish?
I don't
He just
think
gave
so.
up, huh?
I don't think so.
Well, A for effort. It's time now for your tropical update. And on this date in 1943, on a whim and flying a single-engine AT-6, Lieutenant Ralph O'Hare and Colonel Duckworth were the first to fly into a hurricane.
See, that's if I'm flying, my whim is not to go only fly into a hurricane.
Right.
God bless them. That's why we have the great people like that. And by the way, Michael, I just want to say I love that knit tie.
Oh, thank you.
He is man-crushing on it in a big way.
I don't know about that. Hey, Al, are you or Steph ever flown with the Hurricane Hunters?
I have.
I haven't, but I'd really like to if you can hook me up. I know it's hard to get on the list.
All right, we'll get you on a plane. Yeah, we'll try to do this here.
No, he didn't say what plane. He just going to get you on a plane.
And where that plane was going.
I promise it's better than the planes in 1943. Nothing out there right now. The hurricane hunters are flying. What we're watching, though, is here this stalled frontal boundary. We've been paying attention to this now for several days, not expecting any development with it. Anytime you have a front, it's a natural shear zone. You have winds that are coming from different direction on either side of the front, and that can create a spin. And actually, right now, we have a broad area of low pressure right in here, but notice not a lot of thunderstorms with it. You really need thunderstorms to warm up the atmosphere, to allow the pressures to come down, and then for this to detach itself from the front. It's not going to happen here. Very strong winds at the upper part of the atmosphere blowing off the tops of those thunderstorms. But what we do expect, though, is additional rainfall, 3 to 5 inches of rain here across parts of western Florida. Let's talk about what else is going on in the tropics. The Atlantic now, we're going into August. This is the last week of July. Notice the points out here in the eastern Atlantic. August and September are busiest months of the hurricane season. We watch for these tropical waves in the atmosphere that come off of Africa every 3 or 5 days. You can see a lot of moisture here with these contours and a little bit of spin here. This is a tropical wave that just pushed off the coast. No development expected with any of these yet, but keep a close eye on Africa as we get into August and September. Let's talk very quickly about 90E. This one has a high chance of development, 70% chance that it'll become a tropical depression or storm over the next few days. And our computer models, look at this, taking this one toward the central Pacific Ocean. Water temperatures, Al and Steph, very warm out here. A pretty strong signal that we'll have a low pressure area near Hawaii come late weekend into early next week. Something to pay attention to over the next few days. Back to you.
All right, Michael, thank you. Well, the search continues for 2 Florida teens missing since Friday after setting out on a fishing trip in the midst of a storm.
Yeah, their boat capsized. Coming up in the next hour, we'll have the latest, what the Coast Guard is saying they have found and have yet to find.
Let's go Emerald coasting. Visit Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Okaloosa Island, the heart of Florida's Emerald Coast.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's 1 pill once a day for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Harvoni should not be taken with any medicines containing amiodarone, rifampin, or St. John's wort. It also should not be taken with any other medicine that contains Sovaldi. Side effects may include tiredness and headache.
I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
Every auto insurance policy has a number. But not every insurance company understands the life behind it. Those who have served our nation have earned the very best service in return. USAA. We know what it means to serve. Get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
They have their rules. You have yours. No high fructose corn syrup and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Capri Sun. Push play.
I see you hidden in the night. I found you. I see you separate from the others. I couldn't say what I was thinking. I had to listen for it was in.
Most weekends only last a couple of days. Some last a lifetime. Hampton, we go together. Always get the lowest price, only when you book direct at Hampton.com.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
New high-tech bubble allowing anyone to experience Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. And not just the athletic and ski savvy.
Yeah, Skyway is a cabin that rotates. Do you really need to spin as you're going up the mountain? Blah. Transporting anyone more than 11,000 feet.
I don't think it's like a centrifuge.
11,000 feet up the Snowcap Point, Hellbrunner on the Italian-French border.
Price tag for the scenic journey, just about 45 euros. That's about 49 US dollars. That's a beautiful drive. I drove there from when we were in the Olympics from Torino.
Yeah.
I went to Stade, so it was very nice. Anyway, check out this rare and incredible sighting. A small northern wet owl.
Aww.
Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at
It's
that.
very... Oh my gosh, I thought it looked like it was a monkey at first. Isn't that the face of that like type of monkey?
It's kind of like an owl monkey. a mowley. A sheriff's deputy spotting the owl while on patrol near a campground west of Boulder, Colorado.
Now the owl let the deputy get close enough to record some cell phone video and shared a few clicks in conversation before the owl flew away.
Almost looks like that. What was it? The Gremlins?
Yes, it looks like a gremlin.
Looks like a little gremlin.
Good call, Roker. Look at that thing.
Gizmo, yeah.
Oh, Gizmo.
Don't get it wet.
Don't get it wet. Oh, boy.
Don't get it wet. You guys are crazy. Okay, let's have a look what's happening in the Northeast. It's Fair Festival, right? It's the summertime. Everyone starts doing the fairs, and we did the centrifuge. Do you remember at the fair you'd stand up against the wall, and then the thing would like go around, and you'd be stuck to the wall? That was so fun. I need to get on a centrifuge like old days. All right, showers and storms here into the Northeast. I don't know why. I remember how fun that used to be. Yeah, the floor would drop out. Yeah. All right, so here we go. I-95 corridor, we're going to see the storms into the afternoon hours. They're going to be more scattered in nature as we get the daytime heating into the center of the U.S. It's pretty quiet here. We have beautiful sunny skies here, so all the sightseeing you want to do, you're not going to have any issues. And if you want to try to avoid sightseeing, it's going to be hard to play that fake sick game because it's so beautiful out. Into the southeast, we'll see more showers for Florida yet again, and heat and humidity still in the southeast.
Well, coming up on Wake Up with Al, we're tracking more storms in the Sunshine State.
And comedian Ben Bailey of Cash Cab fame is going to join us, and we're going to get a little Cash Cab fun of our own.
That's right, we got that and more as we look live at St. Louis. Let's see if Steph's pal is by there.
Yeah,
yes,
he's still hanging out. I need to go take a picture. I seriously need to stop in St. Louis and get a picture with that guy. Bring him a sandwich or something. He's got to be hungry.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just different color.
Yeah. This morning on Wake Up with Al, the search is on for 2 missing teens in Florida. Crews find their boat. No sign of the teens. We're following this story as it develops.
Heavy storms in Florida are making it hard for search crews with days and days of rain on the way. We've got to look at when the skies will clear up.
Plus, one of our favorites, game show host Ben
Bailey. Cash Cab.
Cash Cab, right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
Live from New York and the heart of Rockefeller Center, it's Wake Up with Al with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams.
Top of the morning, top of the hour, Monday, July 27th, 2015. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al.
We are live in New York, and the big story is the storms all over Florida. That's where we want to start now. I know it's hampering efforts to rescue these boys. I want to look at the very little silver lining. At least they're getting fresh water out there to help them.
All right, let's get your top 3 started as we begin our work week. Kids are heading off to day camp. We are looking, if you're going down to Florida, you're in Florida, you got a rough week ahead, a lot of wet weather, tropical storm amounts of wet weather we're talking. Some places double digits of rain. Well, in the early part of the week, we've got severe weather getting ready to fire up through the northern plains from Fargo all the way down to North Platte. And we've got the heat on, and it is going to be going full blast as we get into the northeast. Take a look. Well, this is today. These are today's temperatures. Burlington, 88, still toasty. 82 New York, 87 in D.C., 89 in Pittsburgh. But then look at Wednesday, 92 in Burlington, 86 in Boston, 94 in Washington, and 90 in Buffalo. But right now, all eyes down in Florida.
That it is, because we are going to continue to see the rain, and we want to have a look at Tampa this morning. Temperatures are starting out in the 70s. Maybe you're going out for a ride, doing a little training this morning. It's definitely on the hot and humid side. 78 degrees, 82 for a high. But again, it's going to feel a lot hotter than that because you have the humidity. So here's where the rain is located right now, in and around the Fort Myers area. We don't have a lot of lightning, so that is the good news if you're going out to do any sort of training this morning. But we have the humidity. Pretty typical, pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary for this time of year for the southeast. This is that stalled front. You might feel very stalled right now. You're like, it's a Monday morning. I stayed up a little too late last night or had a little too much fun of the weekend, need a little more sleep. So you're feeling like this front, you don't want to move. Well, right along this front, we are going to see the showers and storms. Will we see a tropical entity develop? We have a hurricane expert, Michael Lowry, to break that down coming up in just a couple minutes. But let's just give you the nitty gritty, the down and dirty. Showers and storms will continue here in Florida. You can see hour by hour all the way through our Tuesday forecast. More rain on into central Florida and also towards Daytona. The heaviest rain is right along the west coast. It's too bad we can't say beam me up, Scotty, and, you know, do a little Vulcan action and get that heavier rain down into southeast Florida, because that is where we are seeing the driest conditions here into the Sunshine State. All the way through Wednesday, though, 2 to 3 inches, especially on the left coast, if you will. So here's a look at our rip current risk due to this stationary front. High rip current risk there along the beaches on the west coast of Florida, a little lower there onto the east coast of Florida, and those it knocks you off your feet. By the way, there's no such thing as a rip tide. I don't even know where that word came from. It's rip current. So just take rip tide and like spit it out and like get rid of it out of your vocabulary.
That was a great NBC show back in the 80s.
Called Riptide?
Called Riptide.
I wonder if that's where it started from.
Yeah. Joe Penny and Perry King. There were two guys lived in Florida, had a helicopter company. So actually, they lived in California, but anyway, it's close enough. But it's called Riptide. Hey, Indianapolis, you're sitting on the wettest July ever on record. The city picking up 1.25 inches of rain on Sunday, bringing the total to 13.13 inches of rain. 1313. Who used to live at 1313 Mockingbird Lane?
I have no clue.
The Munsters. All right.
How did I miss that
Turned streets into rivers, stalled out cars, sending floodwaters into homes. These folks just drenched. My gosh. When we've got more severe weather coming the early part of the week, moisture surging northward, coming up, and the jet stream is way up to the north. So we are going to see all that moisture pushing north. And then we've got a triple point right as you get into the northern plains. This storm system will push to the east. Gusty winds will develop along that front. So for today, we've got the threat of severe weather from the Dakotas all the way down into Nebraska. For tonight, those overnight storms firing up, so people have to go to bed with a weather eye, one eye open as you go to bed. Tomorrow, those storms make their way from Minnesota all the way down into eastern and southeastern Nebraska. Torcon today, we've got a 3 for western Dakota, and so we're going to be watching that again. 30% chance. Tomorrow, the severe potential from Minneapolis all the way down to Kansas City. Spotty, damaging winds, hail, and some winds that are going to kind of cause some problems. Fargo, sunshine today at 91. You cool down tonight to 72, then more thunderstorms tomorrow with a temperature about 90 degrees.
All right, it's time now for our morning headlines, and we're going to start you off this morning as summer storms steal Blake Shelton's thunder. The country music, yeah, I got it. Country music headliner cutting short his performance in Eau Claire, Wisconsin Friday night, and you see the reason why.
Lightning. Shelton playing before 45 minutes before he and his band actually had to abandon the stage.
He loves the weather. He's a huge fan of the Weather Channel.
Yes,
we got to get him in here one day.
Well, let's go across the Pacific. Unforgiving heat wave linked to at least 16 deaths over the past week in Japan. Get this, more than 8,000 people hospitalized for heat stroke or exhaustion.
A quarter of those hospitalizations happened on Saturday and Sunday. The heat wave gripping central Japan for weeks now. Several cities routinely topping at 100 degrees.
And Rain falling on parts of the Northeast today. Heat coming. Jessica Hasty-Decker posting this video to Facebook.
Yes, by the middle of the week, the rain is gone. It will be hot, though, in the 90s at your house, Jessica, in Parksville, New York. How do you like that? A little personal forecast there for Jessica. Now a personal forecast for you if you live in the Northeast, especially around Atlantic City, all the way down to Washington, D.C. Hey, if you place your bet for it to rain this morning in AC, then guess what? Cash money. It's all about the Benjamins, because you were right. Showers coming through. We will see more into the afternoon hours, but look at this, 2.57 inches in 70 minutes. That's a very heavy downpour. And into the Northeast, we're going to see the storms clear out, but then more are going to fire up as we head later in the day. The Coast Guard has more on the missing teens off the Florida coast.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
So shiny. I know, Mommy, but it's time to let the new kitchen get some sleep.
If you want beautiful results, you know where to go. Angie's List. Now everyone can get highly rated service even without a membership. You can shop special offers or just tell us what you need, and we'll help you find a local company to take care of it. Angie's List is there for all your projects, big and small. Pretty.
Come see what the new Angie's List can do for you.
Staying in rhythm. It's how I try to live, how I stay active. So I need nutrition that won't weigh me down.
For the nutrition you want, without the calories you don't. Introducing Boost 100 Calories. Each delicious snack-sized drink gives you 25 vitamins and minerals and 10 grams of protein. So it's big in nutrition and small in calories.
I'm not about to swim in the slow lane.
Get a coupon for a free sample at Boost.com.
Fact. When pharmacists are in pain, the medicine in Advil is their #1 choice for pain relief. More than the medicines in Tylenol or Aleve. Use the medicine that pharmacists use most for themselves. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Bridgestone is changing the game in tire performance.
So Will Arnett can get to the store when he's out of diapers.
Well, to be clear, they're not for me. They're for my son. So we should probably go.
We switched Will's tires to Bridgestone's revolutionary Drive Guard tires.
Oh, those look sharp.
It's okay. Our Drive Guard tires are engineered to take a puncture and drive up to 50 miles on a flat, so no side of the road.
Well, that's good because the side of the road is dangerous, especially since we're going commando.
Weird?
What commando mean?
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
I thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it. You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take it test shopping.
Introducing the Buick 24 Hours of Happiness Test Drive. If you love it, now pay no interest for 5 years on the entire 2015 Buick lineup.
And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
10 past the hour. Good morning, Dallas.
Woo-hoo!
Congratulations. Way to go.
Yeah.
You did it.
Welcome to the stage,
Yeah.
Dallas. Finally hitting 100 degrees.
That's right. Yeah. Yesterday's high, 100 on the nosy. Don't get too comfortable, though. You're looking at triple digits now, right on into the end of this week.
Okay, so the average first day of 100 is June 30th, and we just hit it yesterday for the first time. The latest first 100 degree, August 23rd, so we really weren't that late. It could have been a lot worse. The first 100 degree this year, July 26th. It's going to stay hot. It's not only Dallas, but anywhere you see the red or pink shading, you are probably going to have heat indices above 100 degrees.
In fact, look at the next 4 days, Dallas. You are staying well above 100 right through Thursday. Well, we have the latest this morning from Central Florida, where rescuers have been searching the ocean since Friday after 2 teen boys on a small fishing boat disappeared.
Their worried parents are now pleading for help. NBC's Gotti Schwartz has the story.
Somber news off the Florida coast. After 2 days of searching, a 19-foot fishing boat found capsized near Cape Canaveral. But the search continues for 14-year-olds Austin Stefanos and Perry Cohen.
Our focus right now is finding those boys, and we've got an awful lot of resources out here. We're going to continue to saturate the area and hit this really hard.
The boys were last seen on Friday in Jupiter, Florida, filling up with $110 worth of gas. The families described the boys as strong fishermen who regularly went out on the water together.
They've been through rough water, they've been through thin water, it doesn't matter.
Their neighbor, football legend Joe Namath, was there also offering his support. He and the family offering a $100,000 reward for the boys' safe return.
They're so fine, these 2 young fellas. We just keep on praying, man.
Austin's family says the boys were not allowed to leave the Jupiter Inlet, so that's where the search started. They expanded the search area 30 nautical miles out to sea and found the boat near the Ponce de Leon Inlet, over 130 nautical miles north. The community is still praying that they might be found safe and brought back home. Gotti Schwartz, NBC News.
Well, they were last seen heading out on this fishing trip. The search on for these 2 boys reported off the East Florida coast.
On the phone now, we have Chief Petty Officer Ryan Doss with the Coast Guard. And Chief Doss, as the search has gone out, now covering more than 14,000 miles, you found their boat yesterday. Have you found anything else?
We have not at this time, no. Our crews have searched more than 27,000 square nautical miles at this point. We've had help from Customs and Border Protection, Florida Fish and Wildlife, Palm Beach Sheriff's Office, and now the U.S. Navy out searching with one of their ships as well. And we continue to search by land and by air and by sea today. Still hoping for the best, still doing everything we can to find these 2 young men and get them back to their families safely.
How has the weather, sir, hampered your search and rescue?
The weather has been favorable for the most part. We've had 1 to 3 foot seas, about 11 to 15 knot winds. There have been thunderstorms that have passed through the search areas multiple times, but those have been short and sporadic. So all things considered, the weather has been fairly favorable for our search crews, and we're hoping that good weather keeps up for us.
Have the parents told you their knowledge of perhaps survival skills or anything else that they had on board that could be helping them at this time?
Absolutely. We've been in very close contact with the family throughout this entire case, gathering as much information about the 2 boys as possible, their skill level, and plugging all that into our computer models along with the weather, the water temperature, and things like that to come up with a the best search area and a timetable that we really out there doing all we can to find these 2.
All right. Well, Chief Petty Officer Ryan Doss with the Coast Guard, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right. Look, it's rough, and as Chief Petty Officer mentioned, as you look at the radar recap, you can see these showers and thunderstorms kept moving through starting Friday afternoon.
Yeah, they were from Jupiter, so maybe they ran into a thunderstorm. And they have to remember the Gulf Stream goes north on Florida, and this is very typical that people get carried, north. And they found the boat off Ponte Vedra, which is Jacksonville, so they could be within the Gulf Stream.
Yeah. Well, hopefully all will turn out well. That's all we can hope for. Switching gears a little bit, takes a lot of knowledge to win big in the cash cab, so we're going to give ourselves a chance, not at winning cash, but
bragging rights.
Yes, we'll be taking a look at maybe some weather questions. Host of Cash Cab coming up after you look live at Detroit City. We are talking a beautiful morning there.
Yeah. Look at the sunrise, 66 degrees. You know what causes the color in the sky?
Pollution.
Well, pollution is one thing, but also, salt particles, all the stuff that's just lingering in the air. But yes, pollution does make a very vibrant sunrise and sunset.
There are no medals won for earning a living. It's just what you do for family. But it's hard to build a future if you can't see past today. That's why Walmart is investing in the most important part of our company, our people. Because a raise in pay raises us all.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to a rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira, helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira, helping me reach for more. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for more than 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
What makes Lay's Kitchen different from the rest? We pride ourselves on bold, authentic flavors with the finest ingredients. The satisfying crunch and rich flavors of Lay's kettle-cooked chips. One taste and you're in love.
Breathtaking peppermint. Rich, dark chocolate. York peppermint patty. Get the sensation.
And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need. Because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Man, when I got shingles, it was something awful. It was like being blindsided by some linebacker. You don't see it coming. Boom! If you had chicken pox, that shingles virus is already inside of you. And it ain't pretty when it comes out. Now, I'm not telling you this so that you'll feel sorry for me. I'm just here to tell you that 1 out of 3 people are gonna end up getting shingles. I was one of them. So please, go talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about 20 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. An incredible shell feed.
I like the colors because you can see that turquoise in the ocean, the blue in the clouds.
I wonder if they played with that at all, or that's.
I'm thinking they did.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful shelf cloud stretching out over the open water, and if you look closely, you get a nice view of the rain shaft. From the massive cloud.
This was in Pensacola, Florida there, and a beautiful one. But what do thunderstorms do? They can help form tropical entities. On this date in 1943, on a whim, a single-engine AT-6 flight, Lieutenant Ralph O'Hare and Colonel Duckworth were the first to fly into hurricane, and now, of course, the hurricane does regular flights into storms.
All right, let's transition down to Atlanta. Hurricane specialist Michael Lowry, and, of course, there's a lot going on in Florida right now, Michael.
There is, Al. Interestingly enough, Cantori is here, and he was asking me, how far through this hurricane season are we, climatologically speaking? 8%. We have 92% of the season left to go, but still, we've already had a few named storms. As Al was saying, we have a lot of weather here in Florida, and you can see sort of a kind of twisting motion here to the radar, expecting another 3 to 5 inches of rain, anywhere from Tampa down to Fort Myers over the next few days from this system. It's a frontal boundary. We've been watching it now for a few days because sometimes you can get tropical development on the tail end of these fronts. Right now, what we have is a broad area of low pressure. That's why you were seeing a twisting motion to those rain showers right in here. But notice you're not seeing the thunderstorms, the convection, the red, the yellows associated right in the middle of that area of low pressure. That's because we have very strong winds at the upper part of the atmosphere. Those are blowing those storm tops apart. Not expecting any tropical development here, but again, the heavy rainfall is really the main story either way, Al and Steph. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening in the Eastern Pacific coming up a little bit later in the show. Possible threat to Hawaii this weekend into next week. Back to you.
I volunteer to go cover it.
Yeah, me too. Right. I second that.
Well, our next guest is here to test our weather knowledge.
Host of Cash Cab, Ben Bailey, is used to testing, general knowledge of passengers, but this morning he is putting me and Al to the test. So we're going to pretend like we just got into a cab.
That's right.
And the lights are
Cash Cab, all right.
on the top.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll pretend I'm driving.
Okay, here we go.
All right, I think some of these are going to surprise you guys.
Okay.
What year was Hurricane Katrina?
2005.
2005.
Well, not that one, clearly. You guys were all over that. I was surprised. I'm like 10 years ago already.
Yeah.
All right, what was the actual day Wake Up with Al began?
Ooh, July 15th?
July 20th.
Someone gave it away off camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mo, thank you. She was the one you when you pull over?
She was like, I know it.
When you pull over and you ask someone? That was our girl
she was
right
your
there.
street shout out.
Right.
Yeah.
This is our 6th anniversary just there.
All right, question number 3. Who has been at the Weather Channel the longest? Is it A, Jim, B, Vivian, C, Mike?
I'm going with
I thought there was a fourth one.
I'm going to go with
I
Viv.
said that as though there was a fourth one, but it's the actual
Yeah,
correct
I'm
answer.
going to go with Viv, too.
Oh, no, it's Jim.
Jim Cantori.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
since 1986.
Wow.
The only job he's ever had, by the way.
That's
out
amazing.
of college for TV weather.
He went straight to the Weather
straight to
Channel.
the
Has
Weather
been there
Channel.
ever since.
Oh, my gosh.
Once in a while, people tell me that I look like him.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to
Only
be
your
offended
shirt's
when it
too
happens.
loose.
Yeah,
My
that's
shirt's
true.
too... Yeah, you're right. I need a tighter shirt.
Oh!
Yeah. By the way, you're going around the country quizzing people.
I am, yeah. I teamed up with Aldi USA, the supermarkets, and
Okay.
I'm cruising around and going into the stores and interviewing people about what's so great about it. And we made these awesome videos that are at lovealdi.com. You can check those out.
Very cool.
They're really fun,
Ben
and it's a
Bailey.
great store.
Okay,
I have one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the tough one.
Okay.
This is why I have to have this earpiece,
Okay.
so that I can get all the answers. Name 5 of last year's winter storms.
Oh, jeez.
Or don't.
Don't be mean.
I don't want to go back there, Ben. It's
Don't
too
be
painful.
Doc. Anyway, hey, we all lather up sunscreen before you head out to soak up that summer sun. Coming up, from traditional to all natural.
What should you use? Dr. Doris stays in the house to let us know.
Today, something entirely new is being built into Bounty. Dawn. New Bounty with Dawn.
What a novel idea.
Just rinse and ring, so you can blast right through tough messes and pick up more.
Oh, aren't we clever?
Thanks, ma'am. Look how much easier New Bounty with Dawn cleans this gooey mess versus soap and a sponge.
Thank you.
New Bounty with Dawn. Available in the paper towel aisle.
Obviously.
Jeffy1016 posted,
worked hard, promotion, time to play hard, hashtag upgrade my car.
Congrats, Jeffy. Now's the time to hit the Honda Summer Clearance event. You can get a great deal on the Honda Accord from KBB.com's best overall brand. With rear view camera and text message reader standard, it's the perfect upgrade.
Awesome.
Go, Jeffy. Go, Jeffy.
Hurry in to the Honda Summer Clearance event for a great deal on your new Honda.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
We've got Allstate, right?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, I found this new thing called
Allstate Quick Photo Claim.
It's an app. You understand that? Just take photos of the damage with your phone and upload them to Allstate.
Really?
So you get a
quicker estimate, quicker payment,
quicker back to normal.
I just did it. But maybe you can find an app that will help you explain this to your father.
Introducing Quick Photo Claim. Just another way Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's one pill once a day for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Harvoni should not be taken with any medicines containing amiodarone, rifampin, or St. John's wort. It also should not be taken with any other medicine that contains Sovaldi. Side effects may include tiredness and headache. I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is a large and dangerous tornado.
That's why we get real local the moment you need it.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida.
Real accurate.
This is round one of the severe storms that are coming through.
From real experts on the ground.
That is a gust front for you right there in Dusty, Texas. Wow.
Where you get your weather matters.
This is basically what makes the Weather Channel
Keep the Weather Channel on. Here at the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel is out in full force today.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Good morning, 29 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al for a Monday, July 27th, 2015.
Yes, this morning we're keeping a close eye on Florida, the 2 missing teams, plus a round of summer storms. There's lots going on. So we want to get right to our top 3 weather stories.
Let's get it started. Of course, we've got some severe weather firing up down through Florida, and it's going to continue right on into the weekend. You don't need a tropical entity to get tropical amounts of moisture, and that's what we're going to see this week. We've also got some severe weather firing up early this week up in the northern plains. So from Fargo all the way down to North Platte, we are looking at strong storms tomorrow. Those move into the upper Mississippi River Valley. And the heat is on, or it's going to be on, here in the Northeast today. 82 in Boston and New York, 87 D.C., Pittsburgh, 89. By Wednesday, with the beginning stages of a heat wave, 90 in Buffalo, 94 in D.C., 96 in New York. Burlington, Vermont 92. And heat indexes will be over 100.
Oof, it's going to be rough. It's going to feel like you're in Florida, and that's where we're going to take you now, where parts of Florida are still underwater after a washout this weekend. Tampa has one of the hardest hit areas, still flooded after the rain has stopped. Nearly 9 inches of rain. Mike Bettis tells a really funny joke about inches, by the way.
Okay.
I'll have to tell you during the commercial break. It's about measuring things. Anyhow, most of it fell on Saturday, almost 7 inches, and it all came down on the ground that was already soaked. Parts of Tampa have gotten more than a foot of rain, 15.6 inches in the month of July. More is on the way. The only saving grace about Florida with all this rain, the sandy soil, so it's going to drain out very quickly. Holiday Florida around Clearwater, almost a foot in 3 days. So you're talking about, I mean, look, on an average, in a month, you're going to get, it ranges from place to place, but let's say 4, 5, 6 inches in a month. So you're getting, several months of rain in a very short period of time. Obviously, that's why you're going to get the flooding here. So let's have a look what's happening on our water vapor imagery. I always say the atmosphere is like a hamburger, and this takes us up to around the tomato layer. We live at the bottom bun. What this shows you is several things. First of all, where you see the pink and blue, that's where you have moisture. So does that moisture go all the way from the tomato layer down to the bottom bun where we are? Yes, and that will be reflected down onto the radar. This is a stationary boundary, okay? So that is our oomph in the atmosphere, and especially on a Monday morning, who doesn't need a little extra oomph? That transition from Sunday to Monday is tough for everybody. So here's a look at our rain today. We will see it from Jacksonville, Fort Myers, all the way down into Miami. The majority of the rain is going to fall on the left coast here, on the west coast of Florida, and it's too bad we just can't pick this up and drop it down into southeastern Florida, because that's where we are feeling the driest conditions. Not only is it going to be wet, but also with those storms, we have the threat for rip currents if you are headed out in the ocean, especially along the Gulf Coast here on the west coast of Florida, Al. Because the storms, the wind, and that kicks up the surf and causes rip currents.
Yeah, well, let's take a look. We got something interesting on our tower camera here. I don't know if it's a bug or what that is.
An eye booger for the camera?
Minneapolis, 71 degrees right now. Somebody just got Anyway, you're going to see clear skies, plenty of sunshine today. High of about 89. Unfortunately, that sunshine not going to be sticking around, and here's why as we look and show you what's going on. Moisture surging northward, that jet stream up to the north, and so we are going to be tracking some severe weather. We've got a stationary front, a occluded front, and a warm front all together. Get that triple point up there right in the Dakotas. And so we're going to be watching severe weather start to develop from Bismarck, Billings down into Rapid City for today. Overnight, that's going to be a problem as well. So tonight from Bismarck, Fargo, Sioux Falls, North Platte, folks are going to have to keep a weather eye open as they sleep. That's not easy to sleep that way. Minneapolis, Des Moines down into Iowa, to Omaha, we are looking at severe weather as well. We got a Torcon today in western North Dakota of about a 30% chance within a 50-mile radius, so we are watching that. Tomorrow, from Minneapolis to Madison to Des Moines to Kansas City, we've got the threat of some severe weather. As you see, Minneapolis today, 89, sunshine, some thunderstorms tonight, and tomorrow more storms with a temperature of about 86 degrees.
Well, it's time now for our news headlines, and Melissa Reiberger is joining us in studio this morning. Good morning, Melissa.
Good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Bobby Christina Brown died yesterday at the age of 22. As the daughter of Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown, she was thrust into the spotlight at a very early age. That attention intensified in February of 2012 when her mother, Whitney Houston, drowned in a Beverly Hills hotel bathtub. On January 31st of this year, Brown was also discovered face down and unresponsive in a bathtub in her suburban Atlanta home. Her family says she suffered brain damage and never regained consciousness. By a vote of 275 to 150, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a measure that blocks any mandatory labeling of foods that are made with genetically engineered crops. Supporters of the bill argued that the labeling would burden the food industry with costly requirements, while opponents countered that consumers have a right to know what's in their food. Well, there is a new winner of the annual Ernest Hemingway Lookalike Contest in Florida. 56-year-old Charlie Boyce took home the trophy. Get this. He had been trying for 15 whole years.
What was he doing different? If you look like him, you look like him.
Maybe it was just
There's Paula Dean's husband on the right there.
Right, he competed. He came in 5th.
Wow.
Something tells me none of us would really stand much of a chance here, though.
No.
No matter how many years we try.
And by the way, that would be more disturbing if either one of you won. But that's another deal. Melissa, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, light show as the thunderstorm moves into Pittston, Pennsylvania, about 20 minutes south of Scranton.
Yes, this is a really cool shot of a thunderstorm. You know what this reminds me of, Al?
What's that?
Remember that thing, the cloud that you could hang in your house that has the lightning that lights up and plays music?
Oh, yeah, right.
We had that on our show. This reminds me of that because it just doesn't look real, right? As if it's just kind of put there or painted or, you know, someone actually made that and stuck it. Anyhow, pretty cool looking stuff there. We have this rain we've been talking about moving through New Jersey all the way down into the mid-Atlantic. This is going to move on out, but it does look like we could have some storms as we head into the afternoon hours. This front's going to come on through, and then it's going to get really warm as we get on the backside of a high pressure. Okay, that's going to mean a southerly flow, so that's what's going to warm us up. I'm already talking about the heat. That doesn't come till tomorrow, but then it lingers. Today, a few scattered showers and storms, temperatures in the 80s, not too shabby, but watch out for those 90s because they are going to come, and they are going to come in full force. Here's just a taste. New York today into the 80s tomorrow, major changes. 1 out of 5 Americans develop skin cancer in the course of their lifetime. Coming up, which should you use? Is a skin screen causing skin cancer?
Welcome to Fort Greene, Chief. Welcome to Castle Bravestorm. It's full of cool stuff like my trusty bow. And free of stuff I don't like. We only eat Chex cereal. No artificial flavors and it's gluten-free. Mom, right there, ball in the house.
Flonase Allergy Relief, the only OTC nasal spray approved to relieve nasal congestion and itchy, watery eyes. Most allergy pills only control one inflammatory substance. Flonase controls 6. See the world in a whole new light. Flonase. This changes everything.
Did you know that meeting your daily protein needs actually helps to support your muscle health? Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink can help you get the protein you need. Each serving has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, plus 26 vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D, to support strong bones. Boost High Protein is the #1 selling high-protein complete nutritional drink, and it has a great taste, guaranteed. Help get the nutrition you need every day with Boost High Protein. Join the club at brandpower.com.
Let's go from clutter to clean. Stop boxing ourselves in. Let's get organized and build a better bathroom. That's it. Let's give it some style with a little polish. Let's put everything where it belongs and put the room back in bathroom. Let's do this. Shop stylish vanities in-store and online. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
I sure had a lot on my mind when I got out of the hospital after a DVT blood clot. What about my family? My little buddy? And what if this happened again? I was given warfarin in the hospital, but I wondered if this was the right treatment for me. Then my doctor told me about Eliquis. Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots and reduces the risk of them happening again. Not only does Eliquis treat DVT and PE blood clots, but Eliquis also had significantly less major bleeding than the standard treatment. Knowing Eliquis had both turned around my thinking.
Don't stop Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. If you had a spinal injection while on Eliquis, call your doctor right away if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots, plus had less major bleeding. Both made switching to Eliquis right for me. Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries. Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma, Arkansas.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms, high 88. Winds south-southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Forty minutes past the hour, looking live at the Brooklyn Bridge. The cable-supported bridge completed in 1883, welcoming folks into Manhattan from Brooklyn ever since. Cloudy trek across the bridge.
Or the other way, too.
That's right.
Welcoming people the other way, too.
No, we don't allow them out. Potential for some scattered storms today. And heat getting ready, so that dome of high pressure moves off the coast, pumping up hot and humid air around it.
Yes, and the heat goes on, as Sonny and Cher sang about back in the day.
That was the beat goes on.
Oh.
The heat is on as Glenn Fry.
No, I was saying the heat goes on.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I was singing in my head.
I know. Okay, but that's not the words of the song. Keep moving.
All right, so it's going to be hot, essentially, is what you need to know in the Northeast quadrant for everybody here. And the heat indices are going to be near 100 degrees for the extended forecast. New York, our average high is the mid-80s. We're going to be 10 degrees above that by Wednesday.
All right. Well, the search continuing for 2 teens missing in Florida after they went fishing in their boat over the weekend.
So we want to go to Jupiter, Florida. That's where Chris Warren is joining us live from the area where the boys were last seen. And Chris, are there any updates overnight in the search efforts?
Oh, well, we do know, Stephanie, the boat was found. Now, to put this into perspective, where we are here in Jupiter, you'd have to drive 185 miles to the north to Daytona, and then about 70 miles offshore is where they found the boat. Now, the fact that they did find the boat, there is still hope. First off, the big sign that there is still hope is that they are searching. They've been searching 24 hours a day since the boys were reported missing from the air and from the ground. We know that they left here heading out to sea, and when they did, there were storms rolling through the area. Again, we do not know if that was a factor. We do not know when the boat did capsize, but the Coast Guard tells me that what they do now is they assume the best case scenarios. We do know that the water temperatures are into the mid-80s, so that's a plus. Also, they assume that the boys went in the water yesterday because we don't know when that boat did capsize. And so those factors, along with the water temperature, the boys in the water, and they also life jackets on board, they're going to assume that they are also wearing their life jackets. So that extends the period that they are going to be out there searching for these boys. Now, as far as the forecast goes, we know there were storms at the time, also storms expected again today, but that will not hamper the search efforts either from the air, Stephanie and Al, or from the water. The search will continue, and so far, the size of Indiana so far is what they've covered.
That's amazing, Chris. Thank you so much. Well, summer sizzling away doesn't mean your skin should do that as well.
No, and since 1 out of 5 Americans will develop skin cancer in the course of their lifetime, we have dermatologist Doris Day here with the 411, choosing the right sunscreen. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Day.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's start off with, what is this, this Christy Brinkley's new line here?
That's right. This is Christy Brinkley Authentic Skincare. And what I love about this line is that it's really broad spectrum sun protection. It protects against both UVA, UVB, but takes it a step further and protects against infrared as well.
What are the words people should be looking for when they look at a sunscreen on the supermarket shelf?
Look for exactly that. Look for broad spectrum, UVA, UVB protection, and SPF of 30 or higher. And what's really important is that you apply it and then reapply it every few hours. And you have to apply enough of it. So I want you to spend time outdoors. This is my favorite time of the year, but I want you to be sun smart about it.
How much do you put on with each application?
It takes about a shot glass or an ounce to cover the entire body.
Okay, so and the higher the number, does that necessarily mean that it'll last longer, or?
The higher the number gives you a little bit extra protection, maybe 1 to 2% of an incremental increase in protection. If you're very fair skin, that 1 to 2% can make a difference. Also, no one applies the right amount, so you're not really getting exactly what's on the label.
Aveeno.
So this is an Aveeno one, and this one has an SPF of 50. It's a lotion sunscreen. So this is really to show you that all sunscreens are over-the-counter drugs. They're regulated by the FDA, and they are available in lots of different formulations. So there's a sunscreen for everyone.
Do you need like natural products there? Are there chemicals in this stuff?
Listen, they're over-the-counter drugs. there's incredible safety testing that is required to make these claims. So in Europe, they're regulated as cosmetics. There's so many more choices. We haven't had a new sunscreen ingredient here in over 15 years because the FDA is so strict about safety.
At least they're strict about
these are
something.
safe. But if you want just the pure physical ones, this one is Pure Physical by Tizo.
Okay.
And then
This is Mexeril, this is Antelios, and this is an SPF of 60. It's a light lotion, and it goes on very smooth and clear as
We have
well.
like 5 seconds for these.
And this is Neutrogena. This is a spray-on, but it's a mist, so you still have to rub it in, and this is an SPF 30. Some people like the spray. So there's a sunscreen for everyone, and skin of color needs to protect too.
thank you. We've got more coming up after your local on the 8s.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. The seal you can trust with stain and sealer in one and easy to choose colors. Exceptional beauty and protection have never been easier. Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofing Stain. Available at the Home Depot.
Help your deck weather the storm with Thompson's Water Seal.
Look at us back in school. I had the whitest smile. Now I'm going to show up to the reunion with this whole situation.
Oh, please, do what I'm doing. Use Crest White Strips.
Crest 3D White Strips remove 14 years of stains.
I knew I recognized that smile.
Crest 3D White Strips, the way to whiten.
You don't have to look out the window at 35,000 feet to see the big picture. And who needs legroom with all this wide open space? They say it's not the destination, it's the journey. But maybe the journey is the destination. Low prices every day for wherever today takes you. Walmart.
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
Leave early. Go roam. Sleep in. Sleep out. Stargaze. Dream big. Wander more. Care less. Beat sunrise. Chase sunset. Do it all on us. Get your first month's payment plus 5 years wear and tear coverage. Make the most of summer with Volvo.
And then it hit. When you took it to the edge, I didn't give up.
Thank you.
Don't let DSL slow you down. Get the fastest in-home Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Switch to the X1 Triple Play today. Call or go online.
For new home furnishings, look to the Yum Yum Tree for the best values in home decor. You'll be amazed at what a large showroom and what a vast array of furniture styles the Yum Yum Tree has to offer. Beautiful, fully upholstered and metal designs, reclining sofas and chairs, as well as wicker, rattan, all types of bedroom ensembles, lamps and accessories. For quality and one-stop home furnishings with same-day delivery, remember the Yum Yum Tree. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday on US 1 in Jupiter. The large store with small prices, where elegance is a matter of good taste, not money.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here. Let's talk about that. Let's lift the base of this. You're about to see something you have never seen on television before.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Just about About 50 minutes past the program. Welcome back to Wake Up with Al. Well, coming up tomorrow on our program, everybody's talking about what could be a historic El Nino. But what are the daily impacts for us? Our business weather expert, Paul Walsh, will have some answers. Right now, though, let's head over to Mr. Michael Lowry for the latest on our tropics.
Good morning, Al. Thank you, and good morning at home. Let's start here in the Gulf of Mexico. We've now been talking for a few days about this front that's draped over the Florida Peninsula, brought a tremendous amount of rainfall to western Florida over the weekend. Kind of watching on the tail end of this front because sometimes you can get spin-ups, areas of low pressure that form on either side of frontal systems, and in fact, that's what we have today. You can see the surface winds, a broad turning of those winds right down here to the west of Tampa, but notice the absence of thunderstorms, the reds, the yellows, the oranges. We're not seeing those right in that area of low pressure, so not expecting any tropical development here. Upper level winds very, very strong, blowing off the tops of those thunderstorms as they try to grow up into the atmosphere. So the only thing we're seeing here is the heavy rainfall, an additional 3 to 5 inches of rain. And remember now, we've had up to a foot of rain in some of these places just to the north of Tampa. This is not an area of Florida that needs it. We need the rainfall here in southeast Florida where they're in extreme drought. We're not going to get it from this system, but I do think the trade winds are going to freshen up a little bit in South Florida this week. Maybe see those sea breeze type thunderstorms helping out with the drought down there. Look, this is our last week of July. We're going into August. Hard to believe already. Peak months of the hurricane season being August, September, and October. Notice the number of points out here, the origin points in the Atlantic. We start to see storms forming out here in the eastern Atlantic. And in fact, we have an area of low pressure, a tropical wave, a wave in the atmosphere that's come off the coast of Africa. This is really the birthplace for our strongest tropical storms and hurricanes. Thankfully, though, a lot of moisture here. Some of these disturbances moving off, but no development expected here over the next few days. Something you keep an eye on, though, once we get into later August and September. Let's move you over to the eastern Pacific Ocean. We have an invest here, an area to watch that the Hurricane Center is investigating for possible development. A good chance of development with this one, 70% chance, likely that this will become a tropical depression or a named storm here over the next few days. Eastern Pacific and the Central Pacific, too, very active this year because we're in an El Nino year, which means the water temperatures out there much higher than what they normally are this time of year. Look over here in Hawaii. We need water temperatures generally above 80 degrees. We have that across the Pacific Ocean, Steph. This system's going to be moving out in that direction. So something to watch for Hawaii later this week into the weekend. Back to you.
Michael, thank you very much. Coming up next on Wake Up with Al, grab those fishing poles and head into the front yard for some fishing, literally right in your front yard. Does this guy ever manage to get this fish? Find out coming up. But first, we're going to have a live look at Dallas reaching our first 100-degree day of the year yesterday. Welcome to the stage.
Bridgestone is changing the game in tire performance.
So Ken Jung can save gas on his trip to Vegas.
Remember, what happens in Vegas may haunt you forever. Okay, let's go.
These new Bridgestone Ecopia Plus tires are fuel efficient and engineered to give you 20 extra miles per tank.
I usually stop here to fill up, but not today. Later, gas clowns!
Was that too harsh?
Because it felt great.
The only thing that the LL Bean Deluxe Book Pack doesn't carry is a high price. Designed smarter, built tougher.
Irresistible moments deserve irresistible treats. New from Meow Mix, with real salmon, chicken, or tuna. The only treat cats ask for by name.
Rapid Trauma Unit 5. What do we got?
BP 64 over 40.
2 units above that. Multiple foreign objects in the body.
Scissors.
If you're the guy from the operation game, you get operated on. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I want my yoga pants to smell like I sweat money.
I want to smell the way champagne tastes. I love champagne.
Infuse your laundry with up to 12 weeks of luxurious, long-lasting scents. Unstoppable's In-Wash Scent Booster.
I want my foyer to smell more like a foyer.
I want his bedroom to smell like he's away at boarding school.
Surround yourself with up to 6 hours of luxurious, long-lasting scents. Introducing new Unstoppables Air Refresher.
Only Nexium 24-hour gives you Nexium level protection for frequent heartburn, all day and all night. Try Nexium 24-hour, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, and get all day, all night protection. Nexium level protection.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
55 past the hour, and this had meteorologists just foaming at the mouth over the weekend. A lone cloud lighting up the sky over the Atlanta area. You see the flash of lightnings within that thing. It's just beautiful, isn't it? It's mesmerizing. That's a great way to put it. It almost looks like it's not even real. It's so stunning here. A lot of people ask why they didn't get rain. That's because that was 35 miles away from the ATL. Gorgeous. And again, if it doesn't rain right over the airport where the instruments are, then technically it didn't rain. So anyhow, all that rain falling on Southwest Florida brings one bonus. No need to go fishing. The fish come to you. A man of Fort Myers spent a good amount of time trying to wrangle a flopper in his front yard. Lee County has gotten 6 to 8 inches of rain from the tropical moisture that's bubbling over Florida. Creeks and streams are overflowing into neighborhoods with at least one fish hitching a ride. It's hilarious, right? He was close. I think he could have got it if he would have stayed at it. I'm just hoping that fish didn't die and I was actually able to get back into the drainage system or something. At least try to kick him back in the drain so he lives. Okay, so here's a look at the southeast, and if you are thinking about going fishing or going to the beach, watch for some stronger rip currents here off the coast of Florida, due in part to that stationary front. Otherwise, the Gulf Coast is looking good if you're headed out. I know a lot of people wake up really early to go fishing, go training, running, cycling, all those types of things. It is the summertime, so bravo for getting up early. Here's a look at Monday into the northeast. That would be today, hour by hour. Storms are coming through. Then into the afternoon hours, we're going to get more storms firing up into that, afternoon heating. But then, speaking of heating, starting tomorrow, it's going to get hot in her. So hot, mid-90s hot with heat indices above that. The Midwest, we're looking pretty good. We will see that sunshine today. And our temperatures are comfortable, though. We're going to see them a little bit warmer as well. Look, we're in the middle of summertime, so that's what you're going to expect, right? A little bit of temperature warm up, and then it's going to cool back down into the southern plains. Dallas finally reaching 100 degrees for the first time this year. Usually happens by June 30th. We're a little late, though. The latest date they've hit it was August 23rd or something. So we had plenty of time to go before we broke that record. So enjoy all that sunshine and the heat. Al, over to you.
Steph, thank you. Thank you for waking up with us this Monday morning. AMHQ coming up next. Jen Delgado, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion helping you kick off another work week. We'll be back with you 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. We hope to see you then. Have a great day, everybody.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good Monday morning. It's Monday. Let's make it amazing together. We got a wild weekend of weather to talk about and some wild weather today. Let's start with the heavy fog that's out there waiting for you this morning. Heavy fog and rain sucking in parts of Maine and South Carolina this morning. Coastal sections really involved, but also inland areas. Charleston, you've got it. Hilton Head, you've got it. Some of this will last until 9. And a weekend of storms makes Missing at Sea a headline. These two 14-year-old boys vanishing into the Atlantic during some storms off the coast of Florida. A boat and life vest, the only clues. We're live in Florida. We've got 2 reporters on the scene there tracking the weather and the weather for today's search and the weather impacting what actually happened. Brace for landing, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Heavy. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever had to land in storms? Because look at this plane dance on its way down there. Oh. All right. It was the worst day of weather at that airport's history, so we'll talk about that. Jim.
Yeah, pilot's discretion, by the way, upon landing. It's up to him or her if they want to land a plane.
This is a punchy little line.
Yeah, nasty little storms. You know how many people are on the beaches this morning? The Jersey Shore all the way down through Cape May, Chesapeake Bay. So a lot of you will have to deal with that. Let this all move through. It will. We may break out of the clouds a little bit later on, maybe toward the lunchtime hour, and then we'll have more showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Also talk a little bit about Florida, Sam. It's very, very stormy down there. I expect another wet week. Will we get anything tropical out of this? I doubt it, but you know what? We'll watch it, and we're watching it for you just about every day.
That's exactly the way I would characterize it. You just don't know for sure, so it's something you've got to watch, and we'll do that. Jim, since you brought up Florida, it's where one of our big stories starts today. The Coast Guard searching air and water this morning for 2 Jupiter, Florida teens. Missing since a line of thunderstorms moved through on Friday. Crews finding their 19-foot boat more than 130 miles from where the boys themselves were last seen in that boat, purchasing gas for a fishing trip. Austin Stefanos and Perry Cohen failing to check with their parents a few hours later, so signaled there was some trouble. The silence alerting their parents that something was wrong.
For them not to check in with us accordingly just really alerted us.
I just want him home. I know he's coming home. I just want him home now.
All morning long, we will focus on the weather down there today for the search and the weather during the storm. Stormy weather along the Florida coast could make that search and rescue more difficult. Chris Warren is live right there where the search started in Jupiter, Florida. Hey, Chris. So we're finding out that so far we've covered an area about the size of Indiana. And when you see from the cockpit of these search planes, it's very difficult to see anything moving in that water.
Well, and remember, though, Sam, it's not just eyeballs. You have infrared cameras out there as well. And I spoke with the United States Coast Guard also saying the weather is not going to be a factor. These planes, their vessels can deal with the type of weather. These afternoon thunderstorms, they can deal with it. And the fact that they are out there searching, we've seen all of that video of the heavy rain coming down. It's nice right here in Jupiter, Florida right now. But despite that heavy rain, the search does continue. And that's why there is hope. The fact that they are still searching, they have been for 24 hours a day since the boys were reported missing. The fact that they are still searching means they are hoping to find them alive. And so they are assuming the best at this point. And that means water temperatures are in the mid-80s where they believe where the search area is being conducted. Also, they found the boat yesterday, so they're going to assume that they went in the water yesterday, not the time of the storms on Friday. So that will also likely extend the search. And then there were life jackets on board, so they're going to assume that the boys are also wearing the life jackets. So the best case scenario as they are searching, again, 24 hours a day from the air and from the land. We can go ahead and take a look at the forecast, and there will be some thunderstorms rolling back into the afternoon hours. We're going to see those thunderstorms again, and that's going to be the story for the next few days with that heavy rain coming down. But again, Sam, we do know that is not expected to affect the search as it does continue, hoping to find both of these boys alive.
I got to tell you, Chris, if you believe in collective thoughts and prayers, now's the time. Chris Warren reporting live from Jupiter, Florida this morning. Jim, some parts of Florida along the Gulf Coast will see, have seen already a foot of rain over the weekend, and there's more coming. You've got a good lineup there on the West Coast talking about solid, soaking heavy rainfall.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be stormy. But what's interesting, it looks certainly more like the Sun Coast. The West Coast is going to be on the stormy side of that, the way we see it right now. Plus, there's kind of a broad area of low pressure down here that's certainly worth keeping an eye on. So if you were to draw the front, it kind of sits north of Daytona and right over Tampa this morning. If you want to make it a stationary front like this, there's probably a broad area of low pressure somewhere in the Western Gulf. But, you kind of analyzed this morning. I just looked at the isobars here that are around this thing, and it's pretty broad. It goes about like this. So it's very, very broad indeed, and nothing to certainly hang your hat on in terms of tropical. Plus, I think it's pretty close. If there's going to be a center, it's going to try and go in through here. The winds aloft are screaming out of the northeast. Screaming out of the northeast. So the broad area of low pressure coupled with the shear makes this, at least at this point, nothing tropical. However, that doesn't mean we're not going to get storms and we're not going to get heavy rain, because look at the West Coast just absolutely crushed in through here in terms of rainfall. The cultural coast, the sun coast, the nature coast, all these areas just absolutely lit up with rainfall, and some of this is already ongoing this morning. So there's the analysis. Again, we got a stalled out front all weekend long. Again, maybe a broad area of low pressure right in through here. I could almost wave the low up and down like this because that's how broad it is. Pressure's around 1,012 millibars, and you can almost see the counterclockwise twist that's going on with this broad area of low pressure. So everything south of the front is going to go from west to east. Everything on the north side is going to go this way. And of course, as we know, the winds aloft, way at the upper levels of the atmosphere, are streaming out of the northeast with the shear. So nothing can develop with that. You almost see on the streamline analysis the front sitting right in through here. And with that, of course, plenty of wet weather to focus in on. So the models do a decent job with initiation, but you'll notice how wet they keep it. Look at how wet they keep the Sun Coast. Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, Sanibel. Let's take a look at Fort Myers this morning. As a matter of fact, some pretty decent rain right on your doorstep. It just moved through, actually. We just had a very, very heavy shower working its way through. So we will check out Fort Myers a little bit later on. Apparently, we're having some trouble with that camera. But notice all day, heavy showers, thunderstorms, maybe getting a break a little bit tonight as the air stabilizes. So over the next 5 days, expect substantial rainfall. The worst drought, as we know, is down in South Florida. 12 to 15 inches is what our deficit is. And that's what we need to make up for that drought. But you'll notice that's where we're forecasting the least amount of rainfall through here. I'm not saying we're not going to get none, but we certainly have a chance of getting the heavier rains off to the north and west of that. Look at that little cinnamon roll east of Hudson Bay, Sam Champion. You see that? Maybe a little sign of things to come. It's breakfast time, ladies and gentlemen. Our trough's still in the east. With that northwest flow aloft, expect more showers and thunderstorms with that hot, humid air over New England today.
All right, and let's pick that up where Jim dropped it off right there and hand it over to Jen, because heat, and it could be a heat wave. Jen, let's talk to
but I still got cinnamon rolls on my mind here. That sounds great for breakfast. Well, good morning to New York. You're starting off with clouds out there as we show you a live view of New York, 72 degrees, and the clouds are going to be around, but we have another round of storms coming later into the day, and we're going to time that out for you. But we want to show you New York. You have a front that's going to be coming through, and you're going to be begging for this front not to go anywhere, because the temperature is going to be warming up as we go through the next couple of days. As we show you, chance of storms around 1 o'clock all the way through your drive time, and then we start to see things kind of fizzling out. And here's why. We have a front that's coming through, and you can see the rain ahead of it. Now, the front right now over towards western parts of New York, and you can see the clearing behind it. As we go through the afternoon, showing you today's highs, we get around 4 or 5 o'clock. We start to see some of these storms around, isolated, high temperatures in the 80s. And as we look ahead for this heat wave, we're going to be looking at temperatures just jumping. You're thinking, well, this front's going through. Why are we not going to be cooler tomorrow? 82 degrees for today, and then the 90s come tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. We're looking at several days with this and potentially become a first heat wave of this season, because last week you didn't make the 3-day criteria for New York.
Exactly, but it sure looks like we've got to run at it now. Jen, and we'll continue when we come back on our top story. The U.S. Coast Guard searching for 2 teenagers lost when their boat capsized off the coast of Florida.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Nine minutes after the hour, and a top story right here on AMHQ this morning. $100,000, the reward this morning to locate 2 Florida boys who disappeared on a fishing trip off the Florida coast. 14-year-olds Austin Stephanos and Perry Cohen. By all accounts, strong fishermen, strong swimmers, had lived their life boating in this area, believed to be out on a 19-foot single-engine boat when there was heavy rain, lightning, and gusty winds from thunderstorms in the area. Searchers found their capsized boat on Sunday, 67 nautical miles off Daytona Beach. So it would appear that somehow these young men and their boat got caught up in the Gulf Stream, the strong current of water that travels up the coast of Florida. U.S. Coast Guard Chief Ryan Doss has the latest details on the search, and he joins us now live. Hey, good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And what can you tell us about the search this morning? I know that we've got an area of Maine in the capsize area. That's the size of the zone you guys were searching around there. Tell us why you're looking where you're looking today.
Well, we're looking today based on where we found the vessel yesterday. We've got a lot of assets involved. We've got a Coast Guard cutter out there searching presently. We've also got the USS Kearney with the Navy, as well as one of our C-130 airplanes. We're sending another small boat crew out, so looking forward to another favorable day of weather out there, good search conditions, and just saturating that area, doing everything we can to find these 2 young men, get them back to their families safely.
Now, we've got a lot of information surrounding the situation. We don't know exactly what happened, but have you guys been able to piece together enough circumstantial information to kind of know what may have happened to these young boys?
It's still really difficult at this point to know exactly when the vessel capsized. We have been in close contact with the family and really working off best case scenario when the vessel may have capsized, under the assumption that these 2 young men, we knew there were life jackets aboard the vessel. So if they're wearing life jackets, where might they be at this point, and focusing on search areas based on that information.
All right, now we know it's the Coast Guard's out there in full force, but you've also got volunteers out there as well. Do we have any idea of the number of people who are kind of getting together to help in the search?
Yeah, I don't know the number of volunteers, and that's one thing we are discouraging people from doing, going out. We know you have good intentions, and we greatly appreciate it, but given the location where we found the vessel yesterday and how far offshore that is, we don't want someone to go out there and become another search and rescue case and take away from the assets we have searching for these boys. So please, we appreciate the good intention, but please stay safe and stay out of the search area at this time.
All right, Chief Ryan Doss, we appreciate the effort that your men and women are making today, and certainly understand your concerns about the volunteers right there. Hopefully we'll get some good news today. Conditions today could affect that search. We know that there are storms in the area, but the Coast Guard equipment is pretty well adept at getting through that. Yeah, but we'll have some more storms in the south.
Yeah, we are going to see more storms out there, but it's also going to be really extremely hot out there, Sam. And we look across parts of the southeast, and we're going to talk about Charlotte for you right now. 73 degrees. You're waking up to dry conditions, but for today, we're going to see high temperatures climbing into the lower 90s. You're like, well, we can handle that. Last week, the week before, we had the upper 90s out there, but we want to talk about how it's been cool over the last couple mornings. And specifically, we're looking at Elizabeth City. You started off your morning yesterday at 60 degrees. You should no way be in the 60s. You typically see 72 degrees, but look how much warmer it is with a record warm low for Malcolm McKinnon, where they started off Sunday morning with 80 degrees. So you're saying, hey, let me go to North Carolina and let me show you the temperatures. We have temps right now almost at 80 degrees, so that gives you an idea. We're going to warm up this afternoon. Not going to be a cool day. As we show you the 70s around, we show you the dew points, and the dew points, they match the temperature. When you see that, that's when you know you're going to be extremely hot out there. As we show you, we have this low off the coast of Florida, but guess what that's going to be doing? Pulling in that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. At the same time, Atlantic, you're going to be looking at dew points in the 70s. You're thinking, well, that's miserable. Well, up in Iowa, they're dealing with the 70s, but that's all corn related, so they're not going to get that sea breeze like you're going to be seeing today. As we show you for this afternoon, it's going to actually feel like 100 degrees in Atlanta, 105 in Memphis, and notice for Jacksonville as well as New Orleans, very close to the triple digits. Tomorrow it stays that way, but notice we start to bump it up. 101 for Atlanta, 109 for Memphis. I expect to see more of these heat advisories popping up as we go through today and tomorrow. The heat is not letting up. Here's your forecast for Charlotte. Nice and dry today, and then tomorrow we are going to add in that chance for a few afternoon thunderstorms around coming late day, and really kind of the same on Wednesday. But once you get some of those storms, of course, you get a little bit of that breeze out there, but it's going to be so stinking humid out there. That's my technical term.
Stinking humid. All right, there you go. That's all you needed in your forecast. Ana Ritis Rodriguez is tracking all your social posts this morning. Good morning, Ana Ritis.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. A lot to talk about on social over the weekend. Dallas hit its first 100. A lot of people tweeting about that. We had a weekend of storms in Indianapolis, just northwest of the city, rather. It was so stormy, some people got around in canoes. Meteorologists in the area say they haven't had this wet of a July in over a century. Let's head to our next picture, which is of the fog this morning. Despite fog in a lot of places, including South Carolina, the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic, no airport delays just yet, but this was tweeted out to Jim Cantore. This is dense fog rolling over Ithaca, New York, and we are following our last story. It's the latest developments on a search for an 8-year-old boy missing in the Mid-Atlantic. The Coast Guard tweeted out that they have been searching for this boy since last night after he was seen underwater near the Mill Creek. Sam, we're following that story. You noticed the tweet there. That's the latest for social. Back to you.
All right. That's two stories that we just don't want to track, but we'll track for you. I got to tell you, difficult to hear both of them. Let's get into Pittsburgh's forecast for the start of the work week. Good morning, Pittsburgh. Happy Monday. We'll start with sunny skies after you get through the clouds that are in that mix there. We'll be right back.
Today, something entirely new is being built into Bounty. Dawn. New Bounty with Dawn.
What a novel idea.
Just rinse and ring, so you can blast right through tough messes and pick up more.
Ooh, aren't we clever?
Thanks, ma'am. Look how much easier new Bounty with Dawn cleans this gooey mess versus soap and a sponge.
Thank you.
New Bounty with Dawn. Available in the paper towel aisle.
Obviously.
This moment is perfect in every way. Just like my kid. Gooey, flaky, happy toaster strudel.
You can't put two in one.
At Intel, they make technology that lets a device be a laptop and a tablet. So you can put two in one.
No, you can't.
Can.
Can't.
Can.
Upgrade to a 2-in-1 with Intel.
When you have a migraine, you'll reach for anything to make the pain go away. Truth is, most pain relievers don't work like Excedrin migraine. It relieves my pain starting in 30 minutes. That's fast, plus sensitivity to light and sound.
Excedrin migraine.
Wow, that was fast.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the weather.
With the pain and swelling of my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis, ordinary objects often seemed intimidating.
Doing something simple meant enduring a lot of pain.
If RA is changing your view of everyday things, Orencia may help. Orencia works differently by targeting a source of RA early in the inflammation process. For many, Orencia provides long-term relief of RA symptoms. It's helped new RA patients and those not helped enough by other treatments. Do not take Orencia with another biologic medicine for RA due to an increased risk of serious infection. Serious side effects can occur, including fatal infections. Cases of lymphoma and lung cancer have been reported. Tell your doctor if you're prone to or have any infection like an open sore, the flu, or a history of COPD, a chronic lung disease. Orencia may worsen your COPD. If you're not getting the relief you need, ask your doctor about Orencia. Orencia. See your RA in a different way.
And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, 19 minutes past the hour on this Monday morning. Check this out. 3 rounds of storms rolling across Pennsylvania. And lucky enough, we have a video of it. And we're showing you right here. This is actually Pittston. They actually picked up 1.5 inches of rain in just 6 hours. You can see the gorgeous cumulus clouds there. And you can see the lightning just kind of massed behind the clouds. And this happened when these storms arrived out there. Gorgeous video coming to us on Facebook. Now, Jim, I know you're looking at that. And we've gotten some really nice photos over the weekend of some of these gorgeous storms out there.
And you know, I was just thinking, a lot of people would say, oh, that's got to be heat lightning because they can't hear the thunder. Well, first of all, there's no such thing as heat lightning. So lightning is lightning and thunder happens, but you just can't hear the sound waves. So you see the light. Light travels a lot farther and faster, but you don't hear the sound. It gets muffled because you're too far away. That's all that is. All right, so let's talk about the Midwest because this looks like a pretty active evening especially. All right, evening is what I want you to key in on here. Plenty of moisture driving north. We've got an area of low pressure this morning in eastern Iowa. That is going to lift up today in through Montana and into southern Canada. And as it does, it's going to pull the front with it. And so, you know, before the front gets there, it's going to start over here and it's going to work its way across South Dakota and North Dakota. And ahead of that, we'll have showers and thunderstorms to deal with. So you can see the upper levels here on the water vapor. There's plenty of action. Big trough right in through here, starting to lift onto the north. But remember, that trough's really not going to get. There's the center of it right here, all right? That's not going to get driven east for a good part of the day. And until it gets driven east, we're going to just build and build the warm cap over the atmosphere here. So this area is going to be capped. But eventually, look what happens once we get the shortwave to eject. We're going to have all sorts of nice deep layer shear sitting over our high instability. So you're going to have a nice recipe for supercells here. Some of these will go late this afternoon. Some of these will go tonight, and they will race off into Canada, into probably Saskatchewan here pretty quickly here. So let's take a look at what we have this morning. There's already a thunderstorm complex, which is analyzed nicely by the RPM, by the way. So let's see what it does during the day. Okay, remember, here comes that front, slowly but surely, working its way and ejecting its way out of the Rockies. All right, there it is here as we work our way through Monday night. But we just have a few storms just starting to develop at about 7:30 west of Bismarck, north of Rapid City. So here come these storms lifting on up to the northeast. Another round, possibly during the overnight hours. But a lot of these storms will quickly generate north of the warm front and certainly up into southern Canada. But there'll be a few stragglers certainly to keep an eye on and potentially chase today, especially just before the sun goes down. So chase area today would probably be somewhere right up and through here from Rapid City to Bismarck is what I would hone in on if I was chasing today. All right, so tonight the front obviously moves off toward the east. Showers and thunderstorms with that. Some of them will be severe even during the overnight hours. Hail and high wind are the highest probabilities, and really within those high probabilities, it's really north central North Dakota where we find those. Then everything moves off to the east tomorrow. Minneapolis, Des Moines, Kansas City out ahead of the cold front. We're going to lose a lot of the rotation, or you know, the horizontal shear here, or what we call environmental shear. So tomorrow again, hail and gusty winds, very, very heavy rain with the kind of water that we have here. Madison, Des Moines, Kansas City, you are all in this as these storms pull on off toward the east. You know what, Carrie, what cameras do you have right now available? Maryland. Let's just take somebody to Ocean City, Maryland, because there's a lot of active radar going on right now, especially toward Ocean City. So I want to show you what's going on. I mean, look at that. Sam, let's go walking on the beach this morning at Ocean City. What do you say, buddy? What do you say? Let's go for a little walk.
Yeah, if you want to get wet, Jim. If you want to get wet on the boardwalk, that's all right.
You don't even need a shower this morning. You can just walk outside at Ocean City. Mister. Yeah. So here it is. I mean, here's the radar. Just absolutely crushed this morning. And a lot of people, again, this is late July. We are not done with the summer. We still have August. We still have September. We'll talk more about that in the tropical update coming up. But you can see Ocean City sitting right underneath of what I would call a frog strangler this morning.
Yep, they're all moving through Salisbury, Maryland right now, too, with that little bit of lightning strike right over Salisbury. Hey, Jim, we'll talk a lot about Florida during the day today. So this morning, we'll say good morning to Coral Gables, also Hialeah. Hialeah, you're about 77 degrees right now, and it's pretty humid. We're going up to 89 degrees today. Sure, there's the chance of some afternoon thunderstorms. Take a look at this shot of Miami this morning as we talk about it. You've got the cruise ships getting ready to leave port. Normally, on the weekend, ships are coming in, but that one does look like it's definitely going out. We've got Miami, by the way, at 77 degrees, just like Hialeah is. Do want to mention that tomorrow, 94 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. And South Florida, that heat index will probably be about 101 tomorrow. So get yourself prepared for that. Now, on the west coast of Florida, from Naples all the way up toward Tampa, Jim has said the Sun Coast, and that is the Tampa area. The Cultural Coast is you, Port Charlotte. So you've got some thunderstorms moving into the Naples area right now with offshore lightning. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench. Now, I may have retired, but I'm definitely still active. That's why for over 10 years, I've used Blue Emu Super Strength Cream so I can still do the things I love and the things I don't.
To kill germs, I used to think a mouthwash had to burn. Then I went pro with Crest Pro Health mouthwash.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health. It's formulated to target and kill 99% of germs without the burn of alcohol. So you move to a healthier mouth from day one.
In the nation, what's precious to you is precious to us. So when coverage really counts, you can count on Nationwide. We put members first. Join the nation. Nationwide is on your side.
Staying in rhythm. It's how I try to live, how I stay active. So I need nutrition that won't weigh me down.
For the nutrition you want, without the calories you don't. Introducing Boost 100 Calories. Each delicious snack-sized drink gives you 25 vitamins and minerals and 10 grams of protein. So it's big in nutrition and small in calories.
I'm not about to swim in the slow lane.
Get a coupon for a free sample at Boost.com.
We fight a war against every foul pest that haunts your home. Backed by 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business, it's not exactly a fair fight. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
There are no medals won for earning a living. It's just what you do for family. But it's hard to build a future if you can't see past today. That's why Walmart is investing in the most important part of our company, our people. Because a raise in pay raises us all.
After 50 years of designing cars for crash survival, Subaru has developed our most revolutionary feature yet. A car that can see trouble and stop itself to avoid it. When the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety tested front crash prevention, nobody beat Subaru models with eyesight. Not Honda, not Ford, or any other brand. Subaru Eyesight, an extra set of eyes every time you drive.
You can mass produce a car, but you can't mass repair it. Right now, get a standard brake service for only $99.99 at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Fact. Advil is not only strong, it's gentle on your body too. No wonder doctors and patients have trusted Advil for their tough pains for over 30 years. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Real local.
We are live in Oklahoma.
Real accurate.
This affects you.
Real experts.
Wow, that's the leading edge of the thunderstorm.
Only the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 76. Chance of rain, 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Weekdays on AMHQ.
I want to make sure everybody can get an idea of what's happening here.
Let's talk about that.
Let's lift the base of this.
You're about to see something you have never seen on television before. Hey ho! Wait, yard fishing.
Yeah, that's.
I've actually never done that. Have you ever done it?
I've never had a fish in my yard, to be honest with you.
All right, so let's just tell you what's going on here. 6 to 8 inches of rain falling on the west coast of Florida since yesterday. Jen's saying catfish for sure, but I
read it actually. They said catfish were.
Does he ever get the fish?
I don't know, but I do know there were several reports of catfish in the lawn.
Yeah.
And in the streets.
And you know, they are.
Well, they have stingers.
It's like Sharknado.
And they've got the little hairy things, so you don't really want to just reach out and grab them, so I get why he's being really delicate if that's the case. It comes out of Cape Coral, Florida, just west of Fort Myers in Lee County. And by the way, Gainesville. Gainesville set a daily record. So did Fort Myers. Fort Myers, more than 2 inches of rain. So
they're still getting it this morning.
Yeah.
Fort Myers, they're getting some very, very heavy rain, and don't be surprised if we get multiple rounds of rain during the day today. And really, it looks like a wet week.
All right.
Very wet week.
So more yard fishing for you, Florida. Jen Delgado is getting started with a big picture.
You see all those videos of people like catching fish with their hands. You know, you see all those contests. Jim, you know what that's called?
I can't say that I've tuned that in. I don't think I have a point of view that one.
Are you watching the Fishing Channel again?
A little bit. All right. Let's talk about what's going on with the big picture. You can see we've got rain on the radar. We've got it for Florida as well as in the Northeast, as well as across parts of the plains. And we're going to get to all that. But Florida, you are our big story for today. And, of course, it's all that heavy rainfall and flooding out there. And it looks like we're going to continue to see that problem because this front's not going anywhere. We're going to be looking at this potentially through the weekend. So as we show you, here's our stationary front. As we go through the weekend, we're going to be picking up in some of these locations 2 to 3 inches, and some isolated spots, of course, are going to be even more. But this is really going to be that west side story out there on that western part of Florida. And then the heat is not going anywhere. It is summer, and apparently I matched the graphic today. Look at that. Temperatures are going to be in the 90s. Look at the big divide out there. We have a ridge of high pressure in place, but the jet stream, it's all the way up towards north, so that's why you're not getting any of that relief. We needed to come down and sag to the south to provide some of that. And then the severe weather threat, we're going right back up to the north. We're talking the northern plains. Here's our area low pressure. Here's our front. This is where we're going to see the better chance for some of these storms to get a little bit rowdy out there. And we're going to be looking at torcons today in some of these locations right around 3. And that gets worse as we go later into the day. Back over to you, sir.
My apologies, fair lady. My apologies. It is a thing, and it is called noodling. Apparently, everybody else in the studio knew it.
Is it just my Missouri roots coming through?
I don't know. I was not aware of noodling until it was made perfectly clear that you were exactly right. I don't know what you do with the rest of it, Jen. All right, Enriquez Rodriguez gets you in front of the headlines this morning.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. A big makeover for New York's LaGuardia Airport. Up first in your headlines, Vice President Joe Biden and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo expected to announce plans today to rebuild LaGuardia's main terminal. Other improvements link LaGuardia to commuter rail and connect the airport to Manhattan by ferry. We head out west. 24 major wildfires burning across 5 western states today. This one in Nevada County, California, threatening 2,000 structures this morning. Wildfires in the west have scorched an area the size of New Jersey this year. Investigators dispatched to Bowling Green, Kentucky today to figure out why a children's carnival ride tipped over. On your screen, 12 people were treated and released from a hospital Saturday night. And a big story yesterday, all over the weekend, actually, left to right. Craig Biggio, John Smoltz, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez, a slugger and 3 first-class pitchers inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, Sunday. And San Pedro gave a big nod to Boston, saying that they really didn't look like the team that could win the World Series, and he didn't want to sign with them, but then eventually he helped them win the World Series and end that, however many year drought. So
he was so happy. His face was just sunshine.
I know.
He was so happy.
He was.
He was just like, yeah, it was awesome to watch it happen.
Congrats.
Awesome to watch it happen. Congrats, everybody. And now let's talk a little bit about sea breezes. How sea breezes can actually fuel the hundreds of days of storms on Florida that you see each year. You're about to get brainstormed on Sea Breeze. But first, let's take a quick look at how those storms are folding up today. And you can see in the Fort Myers area, we'll get the East Coast and the West Coast in on both of these things. Florida, you've got a problem with this front that's straggled right across north to central Florida. It is not the time of year that we should be dealing with this, but that is our problem today. And you'll watch some storms light up and drive all the way across the state today. So Tampa, Fort Myers, Naples getting a line of storms right now. And you can see how there'll actually be some training going on here. It's just one long line of rain off the coast that will move all across. So Naples to Bonita Springs, you're in it this morning. There's just no way to avoid it. It's going to be fairly constant. There's a good amount of lightning as well this morning. So if you were thinking about getting up this morning and putting the boat in the water, this is not the morning for that. A little bit quieter in Sanibel right now, but I can't promise it'll stay that way for long. Venice has got some scattered showers, and some of these are a little punchy as well, waiting for you offshore. It's the same thing as we work up to Clearwater and St. Petersburg.
It's called Mother Nature for a reason. A nurturing spirit lives within every woman. At Mahindra, we strive to brighten the future for girls with a passion for agriculture. So thank you to the mothers and fathers of America for sharing the wonder of God's great outdoors. Today's future farmers are tomorrow's stewards of the land we care for.
The world's #1 selling tractor. Visit MahindraUSA.com.
Why do you think the ripples make a difference?
Grabs more?
It's the clean ripple texture. Now, do you feel so clean that you would go commando?
Wait,
how do you feel?
Awesome. Cottonelle has clean ripple texture, so you're clean enough to go commando.
Unbelievable. Toenail fungus? Seriously?
Smash it with Jublia. Jublia is a prescription medicine proven to treat toenail fungus. Use Jublia as instructed by your doctor.
Look at the footwork.
Most common side effects include ingrown toenail, application site redness, itching, swelling, burning or stinging, blisters, and pain. Smash it!
Make the call and ask your doctor if Jublia is right for you.
New larger size, now available.
Today we're getting record snowfall.
Radars indicate there's been flooding throughout the area.
We're getting hail the size of golf balls. Maglite. Turn your light on, America.
Remember when you said men are superior drivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then how'd I get this?
Allstate Safe Driving Bonus Check.
Who's that?
So weird, right? My agent Tom said
Only Allstate sends you a bonus check for every 6 months you're accident-free.
But I'm a woman. Maybe it's a misprint. Does it look like a misprint?
Okay, let's try.
Silence. Ask an Allstate agent about the Safe Driving Bonus Check. Are you in good hands?
Tonight's the night we're coming to
The sauce you love with the pasta you love. It's a lovely thing for a lovely price. Create your own new favorite. Cucina Mia at Olive Garden.
It's a golden opportunity to turn every ride into a thrill ride at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2015 RC350 for $449 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray outperforms the #1 non-drowsy allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one inflammatory substance. Flonase controls 6, so you are greater than your allergies. Flonase, 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24-Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
If you let your... We got the new Temperflex, and it's got the spring and bounce of a traditional mattress.
You sink into it, but you can still move around.
And now that I have a Temperflex, I can finally get a good night's sleep.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic.
It's your See results in just 1 week with Slim Fast. Shake it off. Blend it off. Just take it off and keep it off. Rich, protein-packed Slim Fast controls hunger up to 4 hours. Slim Fast. It's your thing.
And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And good morning, Dallas, 39 minutes past the hour. You're looking at the big city there, 87 degrees. You're starting off hot, and you're going to warm up today to 100 degrees. You know, last week I said, Dallas, you got 99 problems, 100 isn't one, but actually, you hit your first 100-degree mark yesterday. If anybody's wondering, that's the Jay-Z reference there for all you folks out there that are Jay-Z fans, right? Well, let's talk about Dallas, and you've been kind of a late achiever when it comes to the triple digits out there. The last time you were this late, that was back in 1989. It was August the 23rd. And just so you get an idea, last year, July 26th. So you are running actually behind schedule. And as we show you, the heat is on across the southern plains as well as in the Midwest. And you can see it right here. We've counted them, 10 states now under heat advisories. But for areas like Kansas City, you have actually the excessive heat warning out there. And that means some of those triple digits, it's going to feel like 107 and 110 degrees at times. As we show you, you're starting off the morning already hot and muggy out there. It feels like 88 degrees this morning in St. Louis. And let me show you where you see the green, that's the humidity. So that when you combine it with the temperatures, well, this is your calculation of what it's going to feel like today. It's going to feel miserable in Little Rock, 105, but you're doing better than Shreveport, where it's going to feel like 109 degrees. Texas, you're going to be feeling that. And guess what? Tuesday, you got more troubles out there in the form of triple digits from Oklahoma City down towards Shreveport. You get the idea. You're all going to be toasty from areas like Arkansas, Missouri, as well as into Kansas. Dallas, your average high should be 97 degrees. And if you remember what I said last week, once you open up that gate, you light that fire, now you're going to be looking at several days with temperatures with the actual number being in the triple digits and feeling much worse out there.
Yeah. Now 100 is one of your 99 problems.
It is.
Absolutely.
It's 100.
Nice reference. All right. So let's say you're landlocked in some place like Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, and it may feel like there's no way to escape the heat, but coastal areas have something called a sea breeze, and Florida has a unique cooling factor on top of that. It's all in today's Brainstorm, the wow behind the weather. Florida's sizzling summer heat is epic. The average August high, 91 degrees, with heat index temperatures in the triple digits. But you can get relief from the heat by those gentle wafting breezes off the ocean. They're called sea breezes, and they don't travel alone. They're actually a common trigger for afternoon thunderstorms. And they can help some areas in Florida experience 100-plus stormy days every year. Here's how it works. As the sun heats the surface of the globe, land warms as much as 5 times faster than the ocean, creating a temperature differential between the two. This causes the cooler, high-pressure air over the ocean to flow toward the warmer, low-pressure air over the land. And this flow makes a sea breeze. The cool air blowing inland and bringing ample moisture onshore with it, and the rapidly rising air causing those thunderstorms to form. The speeds of these sea breezes can vary, and they depend a lot on the strength of the daytime heating. But generally, they move inland around 5 to 10 miles per hour. And behind the leading edge of the sea breeze, much cooler temperatures. In fact, because of sea breezes, Miami has only officially hit 100 degrees once since 1942. Now, because the Florida Peninsula is relatively thin, it's possible that sea breezes coming in from the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico can occasionally collide. And look out, because these wind-on-wind interactions can turn cumulus clouds into monster thunderstorms, with major lightning, producing a total of nearly 1.5 million lightning strikes across Florida every year, the most of any state. If you could harness it, that much energy would power all of the residents of the Florida Keys for more than 2 years. And it's awesome. On a regular summertime, it's just like clockwork. You know exactly 3 o'clock. There it is.
Take it in the house.
Go inside. Siesta time.
Back out.
Yeah, exactly. And then head back out to the beach.
Oh, the troubles of island life, right?
Now, I know people like tennis, and grass season's over. Hard court season is on. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but we also have all of the social pictures.
Yes, and we have some new images relating to that active search and rescue happening off the coast of Jupiter, Florida this morning. This tweeted out by the Coast Guard earlier this morning of the capsized boat. This is relating to the story of the 2 missing teens that we've been telling you all morning. This is what they found on Sunday.
That's not an encouraging sign. However, they say they had the life jackets on board.
They did, and they are still holding out to hope that these boys are going to be found alive. They're still calling this an active search and rescue. We're also following fog this morning in a number of places. Take a look at you, South Carolina. You know, Mondays are kind of foggy, but you're going to need a little bit more
inside and it's on the outside.
I know. Or sorry, but so no major delays at any airports aside from Boston, which is reporting wind delays of 15 minutes. So we're keeping an eye on that. And then our last picture coming out of northern Pennsylvania. Boy, did you have an active night. A lot of places underwater, under mud. This is northwest of Scranton. Keep sending us those pictures. Use the hashtag MyWeather. We'll see you on Twitter.
Water.
Let's go emerald coasting. Visit Destin, Fort Walton Beach, Okaloosa Island, the heart of Florida's Emerald Coast.
Doers. They don't worry if something's possible. They just do it. At Sears Optical, we're committed to bringing them eyewear that works as hard as they do. Right now, buy 1 pair and get another free. Quality eyewear for doers. Sears Optical.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
Put your hand over your heart. Is it beating? Good. Then my Nutrition Heart Health Mix is for you. It's a wholesome blend of peanuts, pecans, and other delicious nuts, specially mixed for people with hearts. Planters. Nutrition starts with nut.
Now? Can I at least put my shoes on? If your bladder is calling the shots, you may have a medical condition called overactive bladder, or OAB.
You gotta be kidding me. I've had enough. It's time to talk to the doctor.
Ask your doctor how Mirbetriq may help treat OAB symptoms of urgency, frequency, and leakage, which may mean fewer trips to the bathroom.
Mirbetriq Mirabegron may increase your blood pressure. Mirbetriq may increase your chances of not being able to empty your bladder. Tell your doctor right away if you have trouble emptying your bladder or have a weak urine stream. Mirbetriq may affect or be affected by other medications, so tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. Before taking Mirbetriq, tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. Common side effects include increased blood pressure, common cold symptoms, urinary tract infection, and headache.
Take charge by talking to your doctor about your OAB symptoms and Mirbetriq. Find out if you can get your first prescription at no cost by visiting Mirbetriq.com.
Great time for a shiny floor wax, no? Not if you just put the finishing touches on your latest masterpiece. Timing's important. Comcast Business knows that. That's why you can schedule an installation at a time that works for you, even late at night or on the weekend if that's what you need, because you have enough to worry about. I did not see that coming.
Don't deal with disruptions. Get better internet installed on your schedule. Comcast Business, built for business.
If you want a great lawn, you can spend hours every week mowing, weeding, fertilizing. Or experience a greener world with Synthetic Turf International. Spend time enjoying your lawn, not working on it. Experience a greener world with Synthetic Turf International.
Book a tee time 24/7 with Golf Now. Day or night, even after the course closes. Search the largest selection of available tee times at over 6,000 great courses. Book your round in no time with Golf Now.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And you'll never get tired of seeing images like this. Well, maybe if you're on the plane. This is a KLM passenger jet banking sharply moments before landing in the middle of a strong storm. Well, you can see actually the strong winds coming through. And what's happening is, you know, the plane is dealing with those prevailing winds, and you try to land and you just can't quite get that body
Caught
down.
by a crosswind
yeah,
right
and
there.
they call this crabbing, the crosswinds there. Well, the Boeing 777 rocking from side to side in the high winds, approaching Amsterdam's Schiphol Airport.
Yeah, Schiphol. Yeah, and I'll tell you,
Wind gust 75.
The pilot has full confidence. He's in there. He's riding it. Meanwhile, you're in the back and you kind of don't know what's happening.
You're like, what's going on?
And you're over to the right, then you're over on the left, then you see the ground, then you see the sky. It's tough, but everything was great.
And
Everything
he did
was
a great job, but it's hard.
And it is one of those things
Technique.
I will watch over and over today. Jim, same thing.
Think about, I'm wondering how many other sick bags actually got used on that.
Right.
On that approach.
Everybody's thankful they had their seatbelt on.
Yeah, this is a wild ride. And you know, think about what's going through the pilot's head. You know, he's doing his crabbing coming in here and obviously getting buffeted quite a bit. But, you know, you've got seconds, maybe even a couple of them, to just say, I'm either going to abort this thing and get back up in the air again or try and put it down. So that's one of those, if you've ever been on a plane before, everybody just like clapping once the wheels are down and you kind of feel like you're not shaking anymore. Woo! That was a wild ride, just watching. That was almost as good as the slingshot, Sammy. I'm going to be honest with you. Check it out. All the rainfall is sitting off Florida. We have this little area of wet weather sitting down here in Naples this morning. Let's show it to you, actually. We have a camera out of Naples that we can show you. So earlier on, some pretty heavy rain in Fort Myers. Now some dark and ominous skies in the beautiful Naples area. Say hello to my buddy Barry Sheldon down there in beautiful Bonita Springs. I'm sure he's up and at 'em. And by the way, Naples, if you look off to the left on that camera there, you'll notice a little bit of darkness. That could be this next round here getting ready to come on in. So Naples, Bonita Springs, looks like a wild ride coming up. All right, what's going on here? We've got a broad area of low pressure kind of sitting here with this frontal zone. Pressures are down around 1,012 millibars. But what's happening aloft is really the key here, because we've just got tons and tons of shear. Actually, we've actually got this analyzed for you. I forgot about that. I had Brandon put the streamlines on it. You can see, you know, where it is. The front's north of Melbourne, north of Tampa this morning. Showers and thunderstorms. You see them kind of blowing up. There's no organization to these, but the tops are getting blown off toward the southwest. And here's why. Really strong wind shear aloft. The light wind shear is up over Georgia and Alabama. Now, last week, I think even on this day, I was showing you the forecast for wind shear, and it was supposed to be down here. So if that was the case, maybe we could be looking at something a little bit different. Either way, you know we're watching this for you here on the Weather Channel every day, and if something changes, if something starts to organize, we will let you know. I would rather have it organized on the east side than the west side, because once it organizes on the west side, it can't get out, right? It's got to come in somewhere. The problem is, though, regardless of what happens here, and the confidence in that, quite frankly, is low, is the amount of precipitable water over the atmosphere is very, very high. So you've got a lot of juice to squeeze out here almost on every given day. A little bit of a break maybe heading into the weekend, but very heavy showers and thunderstorms are very, very possible, especially on the beautiful west coast of Florida here. So the Nature Coast, the Sun Coast, all getting a lot of liquid sunshine coming up this week. The areas where they really have the rainfall deficits in South Florida, especially Miami-Dade, extreme drought down there. We do not expect a lot of rainfall, but we'll see. All right, we'll see how the whole week shakes out. All it takes is one front or one little area of rain to sit on over. And there you can see that extreme drought. 2% of the state, but it's a big percent. A lot of people live down there, a lot of lawns, a lot of yards. All right, let's head into the Pacific, which has been active. It's going to continue to be active. Invest 90E is the system I want to focus in on, even though the one behind that has a little bit more convection at this time. But this has a really nice low-level circulation, which we saw yesterday on the visible satellite imagery. There's a little bit of dry air on the front end. And what's kind of interesting sometimes about these is maybe this one comes and saturates the air, while this one is the one that actually develops. But right now, just keying in on this, 70% chance over the next 120 hours or 5 days. Because it's an Invest, the model suite's been run on it, and you can see it takes it across most of this warm water, at least some of the more highly reliable models here with this. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as we go on in time. And the other thing we're watching, too, is if you go back and look at what's happened over the water temperatures here in the past 2 weeks, the anomalies, or where they should be, are actually above average. So, Sam, we're running a couple of degrees above where we should be, and that sometimes is all we need to keep a tropical system going, especially one that may have a long trek toward Hawaii. Something to watch later this week.
All right, eyes on Hawaii, all eyes on Hawaii. Hey, it's a 100-year-old shipwreck mystery, and we may have solved it. Up next, we're going to talk about that ship in the icy depths of Lake Michigan. Unbelievable. Also, want to tell you there's some delays in Boston this morning. Boston, it's being marked as a wind delay, but it's about 16 to 30 minutes in that area right now at Boston's Logan Airport. We'll be right back.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to a rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira, helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira, helping me reach for more. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for more than 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
Did you know that meeting your daily protein needs actually helps to support your muscle health? Boost High Protein Nutritional Drink can help you get the protein you need. Each serving has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, plus 26 vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D, to support strong bones. Boost High Protein is the #1 selling high-protein complete nutritional drink, and it has a great taste, guaranteed. Help get the nutrition you need every day with Boost High Protein. Join the club at brandpower.com.
Maintenance is important. To keep feeling my best, I use odor-free Blue Emu as an active ingredient to relieve the aches and pains of my muscles and joints. Use what I use, Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
Multiple foreign objects in the body.
Scissors.
If you're the guy from the operation game, you get operated on. It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. 100% satisfaction or your money back. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
And then it hit. When you took it to the edge, I didn't give up.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 88. Chance of rain 80%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 76. Chance of rain 60%. Tuesday, mostly cloudy. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. High 94. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Top of the hour on this Monday morning. Glad you're with us right here on America's Morning Headquarters, AMHQ. Extra shot of espresso, deep breath, and here we go on our Monday. Some big weekend storms, and they are part of our problem today and drive our big story. Those storms are driving the search for 2 teenage sailors missing at sea. New information this morning about the technology that the crews are using to advance their search for the boys, despite the storms that are in the area and the storms that were in the area at the time of their disappearing, and later the boat found capsized. Good morning, Indianapolis. Under a flash flood warning right now. Your wettest July on record. In fact, your wettest month on record, period. More than 13 inches of rain already. Are you feeling moldy? You've got a good reason for that. There's a few days to go, Indy, with this rain. And hidden in the deep, a shipwreck. The victim of an icy winter found on the floor of Lake Michigan more than a century later. This is a very cool story. When you find out that the survivors, Jim, walked across the ice that day to another ship like 3 miles away to get on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're going to go down and look at the ship, I guess, in August because the water's too cold right now.
Lake Michigan. It is not for fair weather boaters.
It's going to be that much warmer in August?
Yeah, I got to tell you.
Okay, just check it. Awesome satellite picture this morning. Catherine Prostov has this up on her computer. I'm walking out to do my tropical update. I'm like, oh, sick, look at that. And so I said, we got to do this. We got to show this as our aha moment. Look at all the river valleys across New York State. Looks like veins right in through here. Just showing up awesome. High humidity air, clear skies, radiational cooling. Nights are getting just a little bit longer now. You can also see the fog, too, up in the Hudson Valley, across the Connecticut Valley, too, over into beautiful New Hampshire, and even on the Massachusetts and New Hampshire coast. Just an awesome shot, guys, of what the atmosphere looks like as the sun's coming up in beautiful New England. Sam, you got to love that.
Yeah, I do. And
that's
Jim,
awesome.
It's a perfect time to highlight that there is that delay at Boston Logan.
Yes.
They're calling it a wind delay. It's probably directional because it's not a lot of strong wind there. It's about 16 to 30 minutes. Also, I know that we're on in a lot of private airports around the country. You're always watching the Weather Channel. So Teterboro has a delay. Teterborough's delay, though, is a little bit more for maintenance around the airstrips there. All right, let's get to our top story. The Coast Guard searching an area the size of Indiana this morning. What are they looking for? 2 missing teens. They were lost near Jupiter, Florida after a line of thunderstorms moved through at about the same time they were headed out for a weekend fishing trip. Crews